Hi, Tina. Where's everybody joining us from too? Put in the chat. I know where some of you are from. Ganesha, good morning. Is it Raisha? It's a pretty name.
Yeah, that is
From India. Good morning. Thank you for the
Yes,
nice
it is,
comment.
Raisha.
Nice, nice. Oh, that's a pretty name. Raisha, that's so pretty. I like unique names.
I need to set a timer so that we don't go over.
Good morning.
This morning. Okay. All right, you guys. What is going on today? I was telling Leonka when she came in that I felt all loose and light today from yesterday's epic conversations. Hamna shocked me and surprised me, as
Right.
you know. Sometimes I don't expect like the world from everyone. I don't actually think I have that many expectations, but sometimes I really,
Ditto.
that blew me away, especially when I go into my system and energetically, I actually feel totally different today than the way I started yesterday. As you know, I kind of got a little twisted yesterday.
Yeah. Well, do you want to get started?
Yeah, let's do an official intro. We start a recording, you guys.
Yeah, I feel like today is going to be super out of this world and
Let me
juicy.
admit the people that just came on too. Here we go. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackard.
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
And this is the Hot Hustle Show. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about things you might be avoiding in your life that maybe are limitations and blocks that you don't even know that you're avoiding.
Whoa, that's a good one.
I wanted to tell you what's on the slate for today. At 50 minutes past this hour, we're going to open up the line for Eesha Patel. Eesha runs the podcast First Contact, and she is a
ufologist?
Yeah, ufologist is what she calls herself, and she channels, and that's how it started. She was so specific on these different races that she was channeling that she went out to people studying the stars and UFOs and UFOlogy so that she could connect the two. She's fascinating. So we did a pre-record. We don't really love to, but she's traveling the USA and couldn't do it.
Yeah, she's meeting with other people that are very fascinating as well that study different UFO and UAP phenomena. She's currently working with the History Channel. I mean, I just saw some pictures of her traveling the U.S., meeting with various different people that, we see on our TV all the time. So that's going to be fun and fascinating. And she gave us some behind the scenes on some of the thoughts that some of these big players in the UFO space have. And I think we're going to pull back the curtain here on some of that conversation, and it'll be really fun. So again, we'll be live. We'll be here with you. You can still participate in the chat. But we'll just be not replaying, we will air the recording that we did before she headed off to the USA.
But we're
still here the whole time, and then we go live.
We're going to be listening along. Yep.
Yes. And then,
it was pretty epic.
Yeah, it was.
And talk about out of this world conversations. We've paired her with Sherry Mosley. Do you want to talk about
Yeah, so Sherry also is channels UFO. She channels the Aqualorian crystalline light energy, and so she's able to bring that in. It's very healing. That conversation is going to be out of this world as well. So I'm super excited. She's got a really great, just the amount of information she brings in. She also works with the Akashic Records. And so she's able to really kind of well, I'll let her tell it honestly, but join us for that out of the world, conversation. Today is going to just be really fun and expansive. And I just invite you to,
playful.
be playful.
Eesha was so playful
Yeah.
with us too.
Yes. And just again, whatever we always say that we bring on this diverse group of speakers because, what's true for you, what may land with you, everyone is different. We're all on a different journey. Every human is different. All our souls are different, our biology, everything. So whatever's true for you, whatever's landing in light, let that come in. Whatever's not, you can just, hey, leave it there and continue to play and just, but I do invite you to be open to exploring. That's what I always say.
Yeah. I was making a joke. I do that. I make jokes, but no, this was yesterday when we were talking with Cinnamon. I said, she's describing how autism, ADHD, and who she is just and kind of grouped us together. And she's like, yeah, we're different. And I was like, yeah, we're humanoid, right?
Yeah, we're different.
And I was like, I was about ready to hop in. I'm thinking, nah, she was so incredible. We needed that badass conversation.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Yes. Yes. I'll help you with.
Have you really, really enjoyed? One of mine, if you haven't heard it from last week, it's Marie Mbui. That one, she just blew me away. She talked about plant medicines, and I was so not so open to plant medicines till after that conversation. And I mean, just who she was just so energetically aligned, even working in surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, she would bring in metaphysics in the surgery. So if you haven't heard that one, I mean, it was quite the incredible conversation with, I think she surprised me too, that she was so.
In fact, I went home and so the little backstory here, my husband is, he's open-minded, but I'm definitely way more open-minded. This is how I've explored my journey, whatnot, but he's a great supporter, whatever. I did explain to him that I was trying to explain to him kind of how this, about that conversation, how this works. And I think the part that he really could receive was that she was a medical doctor and that she was able to bring it into the surgery. And I think that really landed with him. But I think the reason why she shared that was because, here she is, this doctor working in the surgery center, working at her facility. And then she just knew she had to bring her work in, her shamanistic work. And she ended up, so she goes into this great story. You have to hear it on replay. But the whole gist of it is that, the director's wife, she had her as a patient, and the director's wife ended up coming out of the surgery like A-okay, and she wrote this really great letter to the medical board of, I guess it's association, but to the medical board. And it was fascinating. It was a great way to bridge the two. Mm-hmm. And it really kind of gave me some permission a little bit to be more free with my own self. I didn't really, I needed that, but I loved it. I really loved that courage. And I just invite everybody to just, whatever is like for you.
Some of my, it can come across as uncertainty, and it's embedded in there on purpose, because one marketer once said, if you come to a group and you are certain about whatever you're talking about, it will always sell. And I hated that. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to offer invitations and let people choose, and that's where we'll go. I mean, I really don't feel that I have to pretend to be certain. I mean, there are some things that will sound like certainty out of my mouth for real, but that actually, I didn't feel that it was authentic when I would say it with so much certainty.
Interesting.
Like this will be life-changing. Yes, I do say that when it will be life-changing, right? But I just always felt like I I feel like the people who are so certain about their work, it comes through in this environment. But I don't feel like we've got to go out of our way to pretend to be certain so that it'll be perceived as certain.
I got you. Yeah, energy is words, but it's also, you could say words without the energy behind it too.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, people,
And people know
I
it
hope
now.
you guys see that. I really work hard to put together the special offers, and that's why I made the lounge, so you can get 10% off if you buy a lot of them, right? But I also want you to feel welcome if you don't want the special offer. That is just an invitation.
I agree.
To go forward. You choose what you want to dive deeper into. You choose the people you want to work in. I don't have to persuade you to do so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And the whole time, honestly, the whole, like, we get it. The premise of the show, it's like, this is free, right? Like, you can show up, there's no charge. There's, we've curated this great line of speakers. They all have special offers so that you can work with them more. And great, that helps to fund the continuing to be able to offer the show for free. And we do have partners, but like, the truth is that if you're getting help and if you are just coming and listening on the line, great. I mean, I remember when there were times when I was between jobs and in my career, and I first heard a couple of different speakers on a series, and I mean, that was something that really opened up stuff for me. And I, at the time I wasn't jumping out to just buy everybody's things or anything like that, but I would join on the line, and I got free. I got, what I needed that day. And lo and behold, when I did go back to work, or when I did make some more money, I did start to work with other teachers and learn more and do my craft. But those are journey, right? That's your journey. That's your evolution. But you don't have to feel inauthentic either way. When we're offering or when you're listening in, wherever you are, whatever's helping for you, cool. I think that's all that matters, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Funny, Anita, I don't know if you followed me before, but I used to have a brand called Real Raw You. I mean, if you haven't noticed, my purpose basically is to get you back to being all of you and the being that you actually are. Like, that is my purpose here on the planet, done. And so it's funny that you use those words, real and raw. Yeah, raw and real and authentic. I appreciate that because that's apparently I picked up on that message. I actually still have that domain name and not really even using it.
I'm sure it'll make emergence.
A program or something in the future.
Absolutely. Right.
It's probably going to be like my charter signature thing.
I could just see you doing like a live group or something.
Yeah.
And everybody's really raw and authentic and really fun. So all good. Thank you. Thank you. I love this place of creation too, for where people are and what people need.
And there will be a survey that goes out at the end of the show where you'll get to write in and say who you'd really love to have. The time isn't going to change. I usually put that in there. Do you want them live? Do you want them pre-recorded, and what time? But no, I think we're keeping it live, and we're keeping it around this.
We are keeping it live.
So
not everybody can join live, like Eesha.
There's a lot of things that happen overnight. And maybe, sometime we'll do some night calls. There are people in Australia that we would like to bring in. And I think once we realize if we've got like a day and night group, that would be fun.
Yeah.
As long as it's not every night.
Well, awesome. Thank you for the comments.
Yeah, I'm curious how you guys are feeling today, and if you would like to, do some processing or some readings with Lianka, or want to remind you about the lounge while I'm here. Hi, Randy. I know that's him because of the way he writes.
That's awesome.
I want to remind you about the lounge. It's a very, very, very small group. If we don't get a certain number, we won't go that direction with things. If it is something that you're looking at pursuing, we're happy to, respond to your emails or have some conversations around it. You don't really have to make a choice right now because the pre-party isn't until March 26th. So you have a week and a couple days. So
Yeah.
that'll
It's gonna be
super
fun. If you don't know, I like to party, so hey.
Yeah.
And I like to keep things fun. I feel like a lot of change. We've done a lot of crying. Of course, there will be time for that. But I also feel like a lot of change happens too when you're in this state of joy and you can support people. Like finding your groove and your
Yeah.
peeps. Like that's everything. It's so fun. It's not everything. It's not the all be all, but it is amazing. Let's see.
Anita, if you want to come on, go ahead and raise your hand. It's easier for us to select you that way. But you do need to talk with them, or without.
So I do like to have you on the line, Anita, if you can.
There she is.
I do use the pathway prayer process. So I'm going to pull that up because the idea here is that you don't memorize it. I have it memorized, but because I want everyone on the line to actually step into this with us, since we are here, it's also every reading that we do is for the greater group and for the people on the replay. So nothing is by coincidence. Anita, so I'm going to just read the pathway prayer process for everybody today. And let's just take a deep breath. And Anita, will you write in your current, or let me know if you're unmuted? Yes, hi.
Hi.
So tell me a little bit about your your question, and then we'll go into it. And I need your first name and your current legal last name, or your current name right now legal.
So Anita, and it's Lane.
Okay.
And I didn't so much have a question. You all were just talking about readings, and I don't know what Akashic, is that what we're doing? Is an Akashic reading?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It'll be rapid fire though.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know much about that. But the main thing, yeah, I don't want to talk too much. I felt like I talked too much the other day and missed out. Is that
No, you're okay.
With my cash situation? That's the biggest thing in my life right now is the cash flow thing.
Okay, and just so that other people can step into this too, remember our gifts expand with other people who are gifted around you. So we all are being upgraded together. So if you could just tell us a little bit about that situation, just for people who weren't on the line the other day.
Oh, perfect. So I get to be a detailed talker and then we run out of time. I have not had like cash flowing into my life and towards me and income for a while now. I took care of my dad the last few years of his life till he passed, and then there was some money there after he passed, and that money has now run out. And finding work job or a business adventure I might like has not played out yet, and the absence of cash flow towards me is kind of startling to me. So I've been feeling kind of stuck around that.
Okay, awesome. All right, so everybody take a breath. We're gonna do. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, courage to know the truth, as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O holy God, protect me from all forms of self-centeredness and direct my attention to the work at hand. Help me to know Anita Lane in the light of the Akashic records, to see Anita through the eyes of the lords of the records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Anita have for her. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat this twice to myself. The records are now open. So there's a different feeling. I just want everybody to experience that. We are in the Akashic Records. Oh, Anita, the first thing that is coming through for me is your father has been trying to communicate with you. Do you read that? There is a sense of, I get the sense that there is a point of disappointment for you. Maybe in the eyes of your father, he doesn't see that. He does not see that for you. So he wants you to know that. He also wants you to know that you are doing everything you are supposed to do. I think maybe you feel a little bit like you're letting him down in some way, or that it's more current. Maybe you felt like you had in the past, but this one is more current. And that is directly tied to a past life where you had a great mission and you were guided to do you were guided to save people. You were guided to save people. And I get this. So what I'm getting is like you having a sword, a shield, and you got the messages, and there was this great mission and journey that you were supposed to do, and that you had set out to do. But that, we all have free will here on earth in every reincarnation. And so, you didn't end up doing the mission, and you almost kind of defied the teaching, this great gift that you were given. And so there, at your death, you finally were like, I wanted to do this, I was gonna do this, and I think you got really, I don't want to say the word distracted, but you chose to, and I get the sense of like maybe alcohol was involved, but you really did not do the mission, and you didn't take advantage of these really amazing gifts. And you had clear information at the time. You had clear guides that almost like an apparition, and it was like basically saying, this is what you were supposed to do. And as a result, lots of people were dying, and lots of people did die. And you felt like you had that. I get this picture of blood, the blood on your hands. And so you've lived with this point of disappointment from that lifetime that you brought into this one. And your father is telling you, you no longer have to have that. And that is kind of been what that hold to that threshold to that past life, and that huge disappointment and that blood on your hands is what you brought in and is holding you back. You have an attachment to that, but you don't know that. Is any of this reading for you?
That's where the avoiding comes in.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. There's all kinds of tears coming just as you're talking
shit.
about all of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And Janet said she's feeling this too, because usually, remember, we all are here with you with the records. And so, because their records are open, so we are all learning, and this is expanding all of our gifts. And so Janet is also picking up that, and she said that's where your avoidance is coming in. And the avoidance, like the avoidance. I'm not exactly sure, but
that's what it feels
it's the word.
like.
Yeah. So, so again, your father wants you to know you don't have to carry that disappointment. It's not even yours, not that degree. And that that blood is not yours. You can forgive you can forgive yourself. You can forgive yourself in that lifetime. And take a breath. And everyone on the line that's been carrying any of this, take a breath.
Or can contribute to changing this.
Amen.
For you or for Anita or for someone else on the line that has something similar frequency.
And so with that, would you be willing to say you love yourself right now?
Yeah.
Thank you. and just say, I forgive me. And you could say your first name. Because remember, we're connecting on the soul level right here. So you, in a sense, are looking back at Anita. And so you say, Anita, I forgive you.
Anita, I forgive you.
Oh, Anita, I forgive you.
Anita, I forgive you.
That wasn't ours,
That wasn't ours.
and I love you so much.
And I love you so.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I've given you a lot right there. So I'm going to go ahead and let you integrate that. And you can come back and talk to me again. But thank you for sharing that with all of us. I'm getting a lot of emotion, and your father loves you so much too. Okay?
Yeah.
He's laughing.
Yeah,
He's laughing. It's like a good, it's like a
kind
good,
of like a big burly guy that's kind of like, yeah,
he's kind of laughing.
she'll be fine. He's almost like he might not really believe in this kind of the attitude, but he's like, yeah, that'll be fine.
But he sees it from this side now.
Yeah.
He's got a different view. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He sees it from this side now. He
Yeah.
understands it from this view now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just, it seems like, it's kind of like the joke's on him.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. And so know that now that you've released that and acknowledged, the energy's changed. So continue to say those words to yourself, and you'll continue to integrate that now. That past doesn't have to continue to click you like that
Yeah.
anymore.
To rule, because it seems like it's something that's been ruling me from a distance. Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
And now you get to play with, okay, what choices am I making for my life?
Thank you, masters, teachers, and loved ones, for that wisdom. Thank you for the Lord of the Akashic records, and the records are now closed. So we're just going to close up Anita's records right now real nicely.
And you guys, we actually don't have a lot of time because we do have Eesha coming on at 50 minutes past the hour. So, I don't know.
But we can
Do you
continue
wanna do a
this,
quickie? We've got about
like throughout the other, well, I probably won't be able to do another full one like that. But we, the more we jump on the live, the more we can definitely do that as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tina, for resonating this. And remember, this is changing things for all of us.
Yeah.
And you can access your own records too, and I can show you how. So, Amy.
It was funny because I will get an immediate awareness, and I even often know what galactic council it comes from. But I've mentioned before, I like to ask questions to pull so that you get the awareness. Because I don't know, there's sometimes I feel like if you get your awareness, you will make better choices.
I agree
for
with
you.
that, Jenith. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes we also there are times where you just feel so you can't turn. And so, having somebody like me read your records, but you can do this too. You can open your own records. You can learn. I was called to the records. The records called me specifically in my dreams. So, and I had been avoiding it for a couple years. But the energy is now so that we can actually go in and rapid fire. You don't even have to go through a long process like this. You can rapid fire change things. And I always believe that questioning and the process that Jenith does is very fast that way too. But if you really want to dive in sometimes and you can't turn, it's also helpful to had to work with a facilitator.
Yeah. We had a question, can you read orbs? That's a great
question.
Depends where they're coming from, right?
Or if they want to be read.
Uh-huh.
Hey. If there's a single record that is stopping me from connecting properly. So first I would ask myself that, Carrie. If so, she asks, "Hey guys, sorry if sorry I arrived late. Is there a single record that is stopping me from connecting properly as I get a head shaking when connecting to source? Thank you." I don't. You'd have to expand on the head shaking, but innately, I'm really getting that you kind of know you. Everyone knows, and that's why I want you to say, not use the words "I don't know," but.
Carrie, I would invite you to ask a lot of questions. When I started asking, like, where is this coming from? Who is saying this? You can get a lot of information. Sometimes, like, I'll have, like, Jack Sprout have a car accident. He was, like, coming into my field being like, help, right? And then once I learned more about this, I just needed to ask questions. I don't pick up that it's a single record, but you can clear out, and I did a clearing yesterday on clearing out all your sacred contracts.
That's a big one.
And I think that there's some that are hard to reach, like people who have been born with congenital things. It's sometimes our systems have a little trouble changing it, but I think a lot of this is changeable no matter what.
I also know that sometimes, so when we are making our selection of our life, again, some things like to come in blind or to come in with an illness is a choice that we made before birth, and
That's for a purpose.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, it's for a reason. It has
to help
reasoning.
something, to help the technology grow, for innovation. Yeah, I mean, it's actually an evolution by making that choices. It's like you make that sacrifice before you come through the birth canal so that you can show something to the world. So those are like sacred contracts that are there that you've chosen so deeply that, that's not something that I think you can just pod poc. Sorry, there's a clearing statement with the work I use, and that's point of creation, point of destruction, by the way. And if you notice, it kind of goes to the tune of, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate, right? It's a lot easier to destroy and create, like, stupid things that you think about yourself, right? Than like being born with blindness. Or becoming blind when you're 5 or something like that. Or I even think in a lot of ways, if you've had a traumatic accident, you've been disabled, there is often a gift in there for evolving consciousness, or your consciousness, or the whole Earth's consciousness. So, we can get out of that victim mindset, which it's got to take time. I'm just fortunate that I haven't had anything that debilitating. It's just a few thoughts on that. If you didn't hear it yesterday, it is simply all these sacred contracts that are binding me from living my best life. Will I revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate?
Yes.
It's that simple. You can say it in many different ways, or tap into the energy and say, okay, this specific. And so if we do yours specifically, Carrie, it would be how many Akashic records might be keeping me from all the Akashic records of mine that are keeping me from being the best self I can truly be. Would I be willing to revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate? Oh, actually, that cleared something. Like, really didn't it? For somebody. Oh, Carrie, good on receiving that.
Thank you.
Wow.
See, yeah.
That's fun.
See how fast?
Yeah. So fast. Yeah, that's what I like about it, because look, you're coming up with, I got something here. I don't know what exactly it is. So you ask the question, and then sometimes we can tap more into the whispers of that, and I can ask you questions about it. Sometimes it's not necessary. And then you make a choice. And that choice is what changes the frequency, the energy. It even will change your brain on some level.
So think about this. So choice creates more possibility, and possibility is how we get more of the entanglements, right? So you get a nexus point, and then you have a choice, and then you create a possibility, and then the possibility gives you a branch, and then you get another choice, and then you get another branch, right? So you're creating new pathways in your brain and throughout the quantum entanglements, right? So throughout the field, you're now positioned in a different way with each question and each choice, each possibility, really. So there's an infinite number of possibilities. There's so many more ways we can go, but sometimes we're just not asking the right questions.
Yeah. Tina's like, Alt Control Delete.
I know, I like it.
It is that fast. It can be. I have had experiences that, where I've gone through a bunch of clearings, and it's almost like the next day I was kind of lamenting the loss of some of the limitations, because I was like, I feel really weird. I don't feel like me. And it's just kind of wild how they can just zap them, and a lot of them. If you knew me from back in the day, 2011, you'd know I'm not the same person. And it's all from, finding things, zapping things. Plus, I'm like a dog with a bone, like legit. I'm like, from a Humna yesterday. I mean, I just kept processing on my meridians all night. And I woke up with some awarenesses about the way I do money in my life from it. Like huge, big things, big changes that I will make.
Wow.
And she's like, that's good. I'm glad I'm a partner with you. But, I invite you, when you find something that you really want to change, be a dog like a bone. Ask for every one of the readings you can get. Ask for question, choice, possibility, whispers, I always go back to this I call it whisper mapping, where it's you ask the question, or a question comes up through your head, and then you wait for the immediate whisper, though, is the one you need to go with, and it needs to go that fast. Question, choice, whisper. It couldn't go question, whisper, choice. Doesn't have to go in that order. Sometimes you don't even have to wait for the whisper, and you'll make another choice to even ask another question, or maybe you'll just be like, I need to go get my journal, or something odd. So it can skip over some of these things. Whispers come so fast, you don't even know that they're whispers sometimes too.
And that's why we always say, like, consciousness can use everything. So definitely have your eyes, ears, and communicate with your guides with consciousness and say, I need clear
speak to in words I can actually understand, or something.
Yes. Yeah. Speak to me in words I can understand, because I don't understand light language. And so you need to translate it, and then you need to put it like point blank, and I need to see like 18 of them, because that's me. I'm a little hard-headed. So, I mean, and I move so fast. I'm like, la, 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 la. So I really need for my whispers to be just like, bam, and I've also, because of that, now I look for them. Now I don't actively like, oh, but I now keep my awareness open. So, and again, all of us are upgrading together. So as our gifts are being shared, and as you are receiving the gifts of others that are on the line, you are being upgraded as they speak, right? So you are then tapping into the energy that they use in order to create those healings. Do not be afraid to use those on yourself. Is my PSA.
Hey, Ruben, thanks for joining us. Hey, thanks for following us on Instagram. I keep forgetting to ask you guys to.
Yeah.
If you are on the gram, we are both there. So if there's links and all kinds of things, but it was nice seeing some of our guests that show up regularly following us. I thought, now that I got to peek into his life, he does bodybuilding and stuff like that. So it's
cool.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Let's see, we do have a question here.
So are you going to share us some tips for bodybuilding, Ruben? We could use that.
He does on Instagram.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I did follow him from our Hot Hustle main.
Nice. So follow us, and it just helps us to definitely create that community and that and continue to upgrade together.
Yeah. So Tina asked a question there. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, let's see. Tina says, I've been feeling so down and not sure how to go on at moments. Oh, I know. And this show has been giving me the belief and knowing that I can do this. Oh, bless you for saying that. I got this. Yes, you do. Just because I felt like I had no way up and out, I'm seeing a way, and knowing it will all come just as it is meant to be. Yes, and we can help it along too. Do not be afraid to use those questions to help it along. Inspired action is very much a thing. If you feel inspired to take action on whatever it is, whatever that creative outlet is for you, for that business, jump in, give yourself permission. You can do this, you got this. And for those who are maybe really struggling, I have days too where I'm just like, this ain't the day. And that's okay. You can give yourself grace. We had a speaker on talking about the dark moon, and that sometimes we just go straight in without giving ourselves just giving ourselves celebrating the wins that we have, because the negative things happen. And for whatever reason, the negative things seem to get so much more stage play in our lives, right? Whoa. And all the wins, sometimes we just don't lean into them. And a win, ladies and gentlemen, can just be, I got up today, I brushed my teeth, I look better than I did before I woke up, right? Those can be the wins, and you celebrate those things. Or it could be hey, I made that phone call that I was, really nervous to make. Or I, examined my finances and I was worried about that because I just didn't want to look at it. We don't put our head in the sand. And when we don't, and we can just look at something that we didn't want to look at before, that's a huge freaking win. So celebrate those. And sometimes what we do is we tend to gloss over those. And sometimes they could be big ass wins too, whatever. Make them all big ass wins is what I'm trying to say. And then also let yourself have grace on the times that you don't feel like you're having any wins. Be like, you know what? This is the day I'm having grace. Because it's the highs and lows that show us that we are A, having existence on this plane, and B, that we have a high, right? So you can't have the highs and lows if you don't know. If we were all even kill, then what's the point of being here, really? If we were all just then we'd be robots, really. So these are humanistic feelings, and they're totally fine. Give yourself grace.
Oh, that was okay.
Sometimes these are all my words, but
since I do things with the brain, NLP stuff, I say do something totally different that you never do.
Yes.
Like that, because it starts your dopamine up again, and it can, change hormone levels in your brains in all kinds of ways. It can help with sleep, I joke and say Sarah gets you up in the morning, serotonin, and Mel puts you to bed. And, dopamine kind of gets you excited. And if you don't get a lot of dopamine in your life from doing the same old, then you get kind of complacent and stuck because your brain's not used to being fed with dopamine. Sometimes people get that through social media. The people that just scroll, which is the worst condition. You can get it from movement and light exercise, the sun, earthing, taking a class you've never taken, like kickboxing or something. I don't know. That doesn't seem to resonate with you, Tina. But those are kind of the things you're looking for to do something totally different. And maybe you do feel a little bit better that you do get to join us because it is totally different, than what you've been doing. It's something that where you can be joined with a collective group that has the same mindset as others. Not the same exactly,
But yeah, maybe intention or, hey, if nothing else, maybe you like my corny jokes. I don't know.
yeah.
But whatever it is
She had a
that,
trauma right at the beginning of the
Yeah.
year. That can always set you down. Oh, and I had my leg injury. I mean, that's where you think I was. I was stuck too.
yeah,
That's my ongoing joke with Lianka.
yeah,
I mean, I was literally stuck. I could not get up and go anywhere. So I get that.
oh yes, retrain the brain. So hypnosis, Jennifer's got some really good, and even on YouTube too. That I think that you stream,
Yeah,
right?
Some of them are
available
streamed.
for free. Some of them are streamed. So I invite you to just jump on there, listen to a couple of the hypnosis. That stuff changes things. It changes the synapses in your brain. So yeah, utilize those. Those are all tools. All these are just tools in our toolbox.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we've got like 2 minutes before my alarm's gonna go off for Eesha. So I'm gonna go ahead and get her ready so it doesn't disturb us as much as it might.
Oh, good stuff here. Thank you, Anita.
Yeah. Any other questions for us? Because we might not have other yapping time while we get ready here.
I so enjoy being with you all too.
I thought I turned that off.
And honestly, I think about a lot of your questions too, as I'm like working out or doing other things, because I think that I don't even like using the word I think. I know that those questions are out for a bigger reason, and as someone asks a question, again, this is for all of us and even us on the replay, because it may not be completely up for us. It changes things. And when you change things, you create more possibility. When you ask more questions, you create more possibility. So there you go.
Clearly, this one happened before we figured out camera and lighting, but here you go. All right.
It's a great,
Oh my gosh.
great interview. So it's going to be
good.
interesting. And you can still chat with us on the line. We'll be here.
We'll be right here. We're just going to sit here and watch with you. Probably take notes this time because it was quite the profound call.
No, I get to critique myself. Oh, just kidding.
Yeah, we get to be like, hey, we did so much better with the lighting now. All right, here we go. Let's see. I need to screen share this. This is the first time I've done this, by the way. All right, I think I probably am going to have to take this into full view.
Hey, you guys. Hello.
Here we go. Okay, that's shared. Okay, here we go. And then we'll need to turn off our mics technically so we don't yap here in the back. Let me turn off or let me turn us on mute. But we'll be in the chat, you guys.
There you go.
All right, we're back with you. Okay, so I guess this is where I should have tested things. I believe that there's a setting here in Zoom where I share both the screen with
And the sound.
and the sound. So Were
You
you,
get to see us live.
do you mind Googling this? Because I feel kind of sometimes tech a nap. Because I'm feeling like, if anybody knows the answer to this question, how to share your screen, share screen options, advanced share screening. That doesn't give me sound necessarily though.
In the bottom left, so select a program or the desktop that you want to share. So we got the program. In the bottom left-hand corner, select share sound checkbox.
I don't see that. Say it again.
In the bottom left corner,
Okay.
select share sound checkbox.
I have a microphone in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, do you have the
Share screen.
so you have the share screen up, right?
Okay.
So-
And then this is the,
Okay, pull the share screen up. Okay.
and then layout options. Share sound. Okay, I think we figured it out. I guess we'll share it in
There it is.
stereo. Okay, now we're ready. Okay, this wasn't very seamless. Here we go. Let me play.
Well, let's dive one of the things that we were looking through.
And
are they seeing that chat thing?
Story was the description of how you were in a meditation.
No sound.
Experience and you know, I had no guidance. Like I felt like I threw myself into the
Okay, you guys, we are going to send that out as a recording because we didn't test this and we're sorry about that. So, oh, you could hear. Well, so can it chat in with the last
I can
try?
only hear you for a second. Hear it for a second, and then it went back off. And that might have been when you were just turning it off.
Oh yeah, that was when she was just.
Oh, I think that was probably coming through this mic.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, which will probably sound awful in the long run.
Oh man, it was such a great show, but we will get that back up for you, and
Yeah,
we'll do it. Yep.
Yeah, you can just
Oh,
watch the
thank you.
recording. Now we're gonna have to fill the time. Bianca, you're gonna be put to work because I think everyone wants those readings still.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I did look up how to play a pre-existing recording, and it said all I needed to do was share the screen, and I thought, well, I'll be good. This seems relatively easy. So yeah, this is our life behind the scenes.
The now moment must want something different. I agree. I really agree. Yes, we did share sound.
The second time. So, well, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got an hour until we talk with Sherry Mosley and talk about Out of This World. You're going to want to see her and meet her. She channels this Aqualorian, which I never come across. So I'm kind of interested in hearing what she has to say.
All right, try this orb if you like. Interesting. Great. Thank you for not having any disappointment in this. I think everything happens for a reason. 100. All right.
All right, so I mean, we can just work together and see where you want to go.
Yeah, we can open up the line and do some more readings, and let's just jump in.
Great. Well, there's plenty that have hands up already.
Awesome. Have you done one yet?
I'm happy to chime in if you just want facilitation. I don't really want to do readings because I have a strong sense that I want to facilitate and help people. So if you want facilitation, come to me. If you want readings, go to her, and we can just bounce back and forth. And I'm happy to contribute where it feels appropriate to contribute.
So let me give you a little bit about information about Akashic Records. So this is what I play. This is how I work. The Akashic Records called to me. I also use quantum hypnotic healing technique. It's everything I do, the work that I do comes from you. Which I think is very fascinating. And the quantum hypnotic healing technique is amazing because in that process, it is, the symbolistic plane part of your mind that we go to. And that part is able to communicate. The word that Dolores Cannon, so it's Dolores Cannon's work, the word that she uses is the subconscious. Now, this isn't the subconscious that the doctors use when they're doing the therapy. This is like your oversoul, your higher connectedness, the part that if all of our energy came to our bodies, every time we reincarnated, that would be so much intense energy that we wouldn't have the lessons that we do here on Earth. Plus, our bodies really couldn't handle because we're so infinite. We're just these really big, amazing beams of energy. And so the part that is still connected and there with source is the one that can help give us guidance. And so that is what we communicate with in QHHT. And so what I did is I now bridge the two, and I'm able to through opening up my own pathways, through having gone under the process of QHHT and working in the records. Now I bring forth the information to be able to share with you, because this information used to be something that was more, gosh, I want to say it was only available to those that were mystics or that were in mystic school teachings. People like, people that were brave enough to do it behind the guise of, or hiding it from the church. And we're talking about way back, like Nostradamus times. And so these revered people would either practice in secrecy, or they would be a part of an occult or something like that. Now, this is all, I'm just paraphrasing here, so don't take my word as history, but now the part that I do really get from our master's teachers guides and from channel is that we are all being upgraded, and we are all here reincarnated on Earth to bring a new Earth. And so I know sometimes we don't feel like it, and we have these big missions and we forget, because that's what we chose to do when we came here to Earth. But we, with our new DNA upgrades, we also can access this information, and it's coming in anyway. So it's a great way for us to just really kind of zero target on what that message is. And again, you can do this for yourselves. And I believe that everyone should really look into doing stuff for themselves, because the message comes clear from you. So that's my little beforehand. And I can take a couple people on the, that have their hands raised. And what I'll do is I'm going to use the pathway prayer process. There's other ways to access the records. This is the way that I found works with me, and it's taught by Linda Howe. and I read it because you're not really meant to remember it, because you want to work, directly, instead of just kind of, how sometimes when you're just driving and you forget what you're doing. That's not the energy the space we really want to be in. So we want to make sure that we're very direct with our words. Cool. All right.
So Dawn definitely wants a reading. Ganesha's not sure if she wants to do facilitation or reading. So why don't you take Dawn, and I'll start with Ganesha, and if she wants a reading, then we'll see where that goes. I think you're gonna find that I just don't call it a reading, but then you'll get to kind of experience kind of the difference.
Sure. All right. So let's see. Let me plug my computer in, because this is live. And I will come back, and Dawn, be thinking about what, kind of tap into yourself while I'm doing this and what you want to share on the line. So hang on just 2 seconds.
All right. Should I go ahead and take Ganesha? Or
Yeah.
All right, Ganesha, you want to go ahead and come on? Let me know what's going on with you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So for the past few weeks, or maybe a little bit longer, a couple of months, I feel really off balance, like internally. I feel like something is missing in my life, something more fulfilling, and I feel called to something. Although I'm happy with my work, I love my work, but I find that I can't concentrate on things too well right now. I feel just, something is off, and I know I have interests that I would like to pursue, but I think there's a lot of fear around maybe cutting back on my work, because um, I don't want to have regrets later if it didn't work out, or because I do
Sure.
like.
I can go. We can leap off here. That's about all I need. Let's ask you a few questions, and maybe more of it'll come through. So what I hear is that you are just a little unhappy with the way that your life is going. You're generally happy currently with the work that you're doing, but you just don't seem to be fulfilled. Is that correct?
Well, my work is fulfilling. I teach languages, I work with children and adults. I prefer working with children. It's not that I don't like my work, I just feel like something is missing, and I feel like something is pulling or calling me to do something additional and maybe let go of some of the work I'm doing now. I
So
have
do
two
you
jobs.
have do you have an inkling of what that calling is?
I
Do you
have a
an inkling of
starting point. Yeah,
Okay.
I have a starting point.
Oh, great. So what is that starting point?
Animal communication.
Okay, great. Stop there. So let me ask you this question. Do you know within all of you that you are called to do that?
Meaning 100% if I'm.
Yes, or you can even rate it on a scale from like 5 to 100.
I know 100% that I want to help animals in some way.
Okay.
And I did have some very interesting experiences with my cat who recently passed right before and after her passing.
Great. So you are aware that you have animal communication abilities. So
To some
what would
degree,
it take?
yes.
Yeah. So what would it take for you to go from I feel a little unfulfilled and I think I want to do this to I know it's time for me to start exploring this? What's in between that gap there?
I know it's time for me to start exploring this, and I did purchase a self-study course. I just find myself so in such a a place of pain and confusion right now, and time pressure, and I feel burdened by possibly the work that I have, even though I really enjoy my work. I have two jobs. One is teaching children, one is teaching adults, and I don't want to give up any of them, but if I were to choose one, it would definitely be giving up working with adults, with teaching adults.
Okay. So you have a clear awareness. So I'm feeling like you're feeling like it's a time issue, that you are a little overwhelmed with your current day job and you would like to pursue this, but you don't have time. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I think that then the question becomes, what are you willing to do to create your fulfilled life? What is it that is taxing you some, and you could give up, even if it's just temporary, to open up space for this new possibility for you just to explore?
Well,
What I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
you have clear awareness. You're just taking some of the noise of this world of your life and it's keeping you from really making a choice and going for it. Now, if you were a client, there's probably various constructs and things like that that's going on as well that may need to be cleared out so that you actually, so you actually feel free to do it. Because often when we step into something that's the unknown, we just see a wall. And sometimes we have that courage to push the wall. And sometimes we've got courage to make the wall go away entirely and find a door and just open it, right? And sometimes we're just oh, a wall, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm always doing. So there are choices available in front of you, and your awareness is spot on. And you do know what you desire. Now the question is, what is required for you energetically to get on board, to get in alignment, and really start making even just baby changes in your life?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I started writing 2 books, which I would like to finish. I'm not sure if, like what you said, is it something where I need to put more effort into creating time, or if there's something energetically that's throwing me off, because I feel so unbalanced these past few weeks. Just I shouldn't be feeling sad all the time, and I shouldn't be I mean, there's no reason for it technically.
So, yeah, well, you've got 2 questions up right now. And there's probably one more that you need to explore, and that is, who does this belong to?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the sadness that you're sensing right now. There's a difference between an awareness and, exploring something new and going into the unknown, and just feeling but I can't right now, I just don't have the energy. And what I sense energetically is that you do have the time, but there's something keeping you from that choice.
Is it past trauma? I mean, I have a very difficult background, but I worked through all of it as far as I know on an awareness level. But I know there's a lot of stuff that still follows me somewhere deep inside, which somewhere, I don't, the kind of piled up stuff that is beyond my capacity to really process. I don't know, maybe
I'm
something like
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm getting the awareness that it may not that you may be you may want to definitely explore the question that Jenna brought up. Is this mine? And really be in that, right? And a truth will make you feel lighter, and a lie will make you feel heavy. So if you feel like, when you ask that question, so if you feel lighter, is this mine? And like, oh, I feel like, yeah, that's an answer. That's a yes. Then you can process from that space. And if you feel like, this isn't, it doesn't feel like mine, but I carry it. And so this is the part where I want you to listen. Because you have that trauma background, even if you have the awareness for someone else and you're picking up on someone else's angst or grief or sadness, you're going to associate that with the feelings that you used to know. So then you start to intertwine them, and they come to you, they come across to you. It's not necessarily a truth, but they come across to you as if it's yours, and you think it's yours because you remember that feeling. So I would invite you to untangle those and really try and do the clearing. I think Jim can give it to you again, but it's basically rotunda cinder with consciousness attached. And anything that's not mine, anything that's repressing me, anything that's tied to that old sadness, anything that's bringing up old sadness and re-triggering trauma within me that's wanting to attach to that, will you destroy and uncreate that now? Take a breath. This is for everybody on the line. Great. And just keep saying yes and keep choosing that.
Just so that we have this who does it belong to on recording, with that, you also need to go, okay, so when did I buy this, right? In other words, like, so there was some lie in your existence, and it might have happened around the traumas where you've bought a point of view on how to do this reality. And so if there was a time where you really bought a lie that you have to have I don't think that this is yours necessarily, but say you have to have a day job, animal communication isn't really a job or something like that. That is a point of view that would stop you no matter what, even if you know that it doesn't belong to you. So I just felt like there has to be a little bit of follow-up after who does this belong to, because you might be like, yeah, I know it's not mine, but it still exists, right? And so it's really important for you to kind of come around to those questions. As far as clearings, I feel that this is more about kind of a collective type of energy where you just don't trust yourself. So was there a time, a place in your life where you didn't trust yourself?
I feel like I trust myself more than anyone or anything. I was the only one I could rely on, really. I don't know.
Okay. So then it seems that there's, 5 pending choices that you have in front of you energetically, and that you're not trusting yourself to make some choices here. I mean, this is literally you on you. You're just not, coming to this. Does that make sense? So I would invite you to, when you feel this off balance thing, which maybe I'm not energetically getting it, and maybe you can, help me, by being off balance for a minute to really get it. Does that literally mean that you just feel out of sorts and a little depressed, or is it more like you literally just feel like, because this summit alone could make you feel that way.
I mean, you could be picking up on a lot of people's energies too.
Within these calls even. So if it's happened during the summit, I think you're probably just going through an upgrade. And after the summit, things will resolve too. Maybe I should have asked, when did this start?
It started before this summit, but I was part of other summits because I feel something is lacking in my life, and I feel like I
Okay.
can't really concentrate on my work, and I feel drawn to exploring so many things, and I've been like binging on summits.
That's okay. That's okay. Girlfriend, that was me.
Except you might want to question, is that a way that you're hiding? Is that a way that you're avoiding making these choices that you know that you need to make to trust yourself? That's where I think you might need to look next. Because you might be now have all this information, and you are even becoming more aware because you're around all these intuitives and all these psychics, and yet you're not confident enough to go, it's time. I'm going for it now. I have this thing in my heart, and it's just an inkling, but I want to explore it. And that's the difference.
Yeah, I feel like what's stopping me is fear of regret, like giving up a job that I like, or I don't know, something like that. But
I would explore the new things before you give up something. Like
yeah,
really, really give it a chance before.
And sometimes that comes with a little bit of like, I don't want to say the word sacrifice, but with love. Sometimes exploring those things and making that time, sometimes you have to wake up a little bit earlier. Sometimes you have to show up and put on makeup and do a podcast live, no matter what happens, right? So when it's easier to, work on the book and do writing. So sometimes
That could also be hiding too.
So sometimes it can be really stepping into that uncomfortable space. I'm sure the person, you said Ruben does workouts, right? So I'm sure he has to wake up early to get those workouts in before work. Those are uncomfortable spaces, but they make big, little incremental changes, but they make big impacts in our life. So I'd just be willing to explore with, maybe I don't, scroll in the morning on, instead of doing the scrolling, I'm going to jump up and I'm going to, go and do some research on how I can share my gifts with the world. Or I would really just utilize, maybe carve out, an hour before you do work every day, or whatever that looks like for you. Everyone on this line is a challenge, kind of, to maybe just work in that one extra hour so that you are doing that creative outlet. Or it be that thing that you might want to work on next. But like Janet say, explore that before you just walk away from your job or anything like that.
You need to give it a real go. It feels energetically like that too.
I do
That's
too.
not always the case for everyone, but it is the case for you. And I'm a big fan of doing something different. If you guys are, for all of you, if you are in a routine where it's the same old, you have got to do something a little different. And it can still be like, oh, I exercise, but today I'm actually going to take a walk outside instead of doing it in my gym, right? These are the changes that are required for your brain to receive differently, for one, and to get you from thinking the same. If you do the same thing day after day, you think the same thoughts day after day, the only thing that will change this is actually you changing and doing something different. And then your brain will receive different, your brain will have different awarenesses even. So I hope did that help? I hope that helped.
yes, it definitely helped. And as far as changes, I have in the past few weeks, in the past couple of months, I have started an aerial silks class, which I've been wanting to do forever.
Oh,
So
fun.
finally, I give myself permission to do it, even though it's not practical, but
Okay.
I feel like I can't ignore it anymore. And the next step is this, which I feel like I can't ignore. I have to figure it out somehow.
Yeah.
You
What do you
will.
want to bet
You
an
will.
awareness will come while you're in one of those classes?
I have, and I also get the, I also got the vision of you sharing what you do. I think you said it was pet readings or whatnot.
Yeah.
I have this vision that you'll be sharing that with people in the class, so that you'll have some interest, and there might be some new clients there.
Okay.
Fun.
So don't be afraid.
Yeah,
You step
and
all
keep
in.
asking questions. Next week we'll be here, and we can keep exploring, but you can have all weekend to just blow it out of the park and have a totally different experience this weekend. And we'll see how you are on Monday.
Okay. Thank you so very much. I
You're
really
welcome.
Thank you. That was great. Thank you.
Oh, use the hypnosis.
It takes longer than that because they've got to go into.
I like when people, even if you just let it run in the background, because it changes things in your mind. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, so I've got some of them on the YouTube channel. I know a lot of you are going there and watching the stream. They're in every email. So some of the raw ones, it's just me, literally,
I think they're so great. Like those are the ones I feel like really get in there because they're just off the cuff. And sometimes the ones that you choose are the ones that are most meant for you, but you may not have known it. So just be willing to explore.
Yeah. Fabulous.
All right, let's see. So Dawn, let's get you going. You're unmute yourself.
Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good
Hi,
morning,
Dawn.
ladies.
Good morning. So what's your question? Oh, and what I need is your current legal name.
Dawn Marie Baker.
Marie Baker. Okay.
Yeah, Dawn Marie Baker. Yeah. And so I've had an extremely traumatic life, and I've been through cancer, and I thought I was starting to be on an upward swing and getting my work life sorted, and I went back to work. And on my second shift, New Year's Eve day, I passed out and I sustained a head injury, broke both my arms, bruised my ribs. And so my life has been full of lack in almost all ways. I have beautiful twin daughters and 4 beautiful grandsons. But other than that, money, health, relationships with my family are all really hard. And so I'm wondering what my calling is and what work I should do and how I can move forward with grace and happiness and leave this sadness behind.
Yes, yes. And what are those areas that you feel called to?
I think I've always been a healer, but I haven't known how to really be a healer.
But you know that
I
you are, huh? You feel it in there?
Yeah, like I have my Reiki, and I've always been interested in, woo-woo things, UFOs. I think I've maybe had some experiences there, and
Okay.
people talk to me, and animals too. So I don't know, and I drive. I'm a great driver, but I've had a lot of accidents. So what is that all about?
It's stopping you.
Okay. So I'm going to read the Akasha prayer, and I'm going to open up, and everyone's going to be able to, I just invite you to be open-minded as well. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth, as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, protect me from all forms of self-centeredness and direct my attention to the work at hand. Help me to know Dawn Marie, and what was your last name?
Baker.
Baker. Dawn Marie Baker in the light of the Akashic Records, to see Dawn through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Dawn have for her. And I'm going to repeat this twice to myself, and you can. The records are now open. So Dawn, I invite you just to experience what it feels like right now in your records. And everyone else to just experience what it is. Dawn, the choice that you have made when you came to Earth this time was one that was not easy. For you are one that has lots of great strength. You knew that in this life that you could take on so much more than others that were willing to come to Earth, but you raised your hand in fact for the hardest ones, not the hardest, for there are people that are here on Earth to create change through their exact being on this earth. But for you, Dawn, you chose to, in many dynamics, whether that's life, relationships, and health, to have all of these experiences in one lifetime. When you were choosing your lifetime, many times your guides would say, whoa, 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 that's too many marbles in one life for someone to take on. But you said, no, this is what I'm doing. I can do this. This is me. I got this. But you forgot. You forgot when you got here to Earth. And it gets, all those marbles are starting to swirl a little faster in that cup, and you forgot which ones you're supposed to hold on to and which ones you're supposed to, like, hey, I can beat. So when they're swirling so fast, and this is the time in which you had asked them to do so, it can feel overwhelming. I ask that you connect to your higher self. I ask that you continue to look to your guides. You know that we are here, and we've been following and working with you every day. There is one or two that have passed recently that are connecting with you. Sometimes you feel like, do they hear you? Yes. No, they don't want to talk right now, but do smile upon you. This is a noble cause that you have done this for the healing that you feel in your heart is with precise, so that you can help others heal. You've come with this curiosity because it comes with you to Earth from other worlds. And you are connected. This is the reason why you do feel the ufology or the source of comes to you naturally. And those experiences are very, 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 very real. I got like a million berries there. So utilize those in your mind and know that your healing work will also come naturally. Also know that when you share the work, you won't have to struggle. And also call the people in. Listen to the Courtney replay. She gives a kind of good little synopsis for how she calls the people that most want to work with her in to actually be your clients. This is a huge, big calling for you. That's why you can't ignore it. That's why you are just so, the job thing. Okay. So the job, the reason why you're having, you keep thinking like, I got the job, I thought I had it under wraps. Well, you did. But because you chose to come into this lifetime with all of these different marbles swirling, it's because you thought, for one, you can help heal other people by having that, and you're like, I got this. This is me. I know how to do this. I can do this. And so, your guides felt like, yes, you can, and you can. You can overcome any of that. But you also felt like that there was a piece of you that had to know what those things experience, so that you can consciously and subconsciously, on an unconscious level, help heal if you had experienced those things too. So especially the cancer. So you wanted to be able to speak from truth. You wanted to be able to speak from experience, even in the relationships too. You wanted to be able to help others heal, knowing their angst. But you don't have to do that anymore. You've already done that work. You've already integrated that. So you just need to rely on your confidence there. And so here, go back to the work thing. The reason why it feels so shifty every time, and that's why you fell, the reason why you feel so shifty is because now your true calling is calling you. And so work will start to, if you can just start doing and start helping one or two people and just feel confident in it. This is going to come to you naturally because you've already had that experience and you already had that connection with the UFO. So they gave you that, I don't even want to say UFO, but your world, your people, I don't even want to say, I don't want to, because I don't want to give you labels. I want you to tap in, but they gave you that piece so that you can feel confident in your healing, because that's what you're here to do, period. And work is still going to always feel shifty, which is where you fell. Because they're trying to get your attention that you just need to start helping people. You just need to start healing and helping people, and talk to a couple people about, hey, this is what I do. But you got to be able to be willing and confident and courageous to do that. And you don't even need to worry about it because you already have the healing about you. It comes through anyway. Being in your presence is healing. You being on this earth is already healing, because you chose to have so many marbles in your bucket. But now you want to work one-on-one, and the time is now, period. I keep getting period, like this is it. How's that resonating for you?
I know everything that you say is true, and I don't know how to facilitate it.
And that's why I do what I do, because that's sometimes as far as readings go, right?
Like there's no other way to get your attention. That fall was like,
Yeah, and what comes through me is
yes, it's like, this is gonna happen. And your guides are like, this is why.
And if you go back to that time, was there something going on in your world where you were kind of like there was a heaviness, and the day before, or maybe 2 days before, there was something that was shifting in your world before that fall? That's the kind of question that's coming through to me right now. Was there something like that there was this heaviness before this fall, and it was sort of a wake-up call for you?
Well, there was a huge family secret, and in my chemo brain and anger over it, I kind of let the cat out of the bag, and my family hasn't been the same since.
Mm-hmm.
They needed that though.
I was kind of thinking that was probably what y'all needed, but I didn't say it. So then, in following the energy and the question, what was the value of you then having this fall?
Well, it showed me that really the only person I can rely on is me, because, I spent 11 hours in the trauma unit alone. And,
yes. Oh, that is sad.
And, my daughters and grandsons love me, but my extended family seem to blame me, even though I'm not the perpetrator. So
everywhere where they're playing the game of blame, and you are aligning and agreeing with some of that blame and shame, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate everything that is?
Yeah, I don't want to own it. I mean, I was irresponsible in the way that I said things. I totally own that. But I'm still not the perpetrator.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
that will change too.
Yes, it seems
gonna
like
heal.
that will evolve and change too. And everywhere where they're being immature and playing these, stupidity games because they're mad, would you be willing to not take that on?
I would love to not take that on.
Yeah,
It's been very heavy and I've been very, very sad.
I know. So it's so much. I mean, there's so much there. And I feel that for facilitation, you just need to keep inching your way back from where you are now. It's sort of interesting because a lot of times I get the sense that people have to go back and kind of fix their past. But now in your case, it's almost like, okay, right now you've got to get really solid with you again. Yeah, and feel really solid with how you're saying things, the choices that you're making, even how you're communicating with family. It's going to start there. And then you get to unlock some of those other choices. And I think for, you can do this simultaneously. Nothing has to happen in a linear way. It's just showing me that it's the family first. Unfortunately, because I don't feel like that's the easiest action that you can take.
Oh, you know what really helps change things? And in fact, I just got a text from my cousin. This is why I love this work. She was having a tough time with her teenage daughter, and our daughter's adopted. Our daughter's now living with her dad. They were having really tough arguments, and so, really tough. And so, I just asked her, and it's very simple. Everyone can use this on the line. Just pray for their happiness. If you're having any angst with someone, even if it's it's hard to do. It's really hard to do. I'm not asking you to forgive anyone right now. I'm not asking you anything like that. But just pray for 5 minutes for 45 days, every day. Pray for 5 minutes, and just pray for their happiness. I don't care if you pray for their happiness of their shoelaces. I think about 12 days in, my cousin texted me and she said, "Oh my gosh, my daughter, she said she wants to have a sleepover and just go hang out." I mean, they couldn't even, they were not even speaking. It was so rough. And she said, "It's just opening things." And I said, "Don't have any expectations, because we're not here to have expectations for other people, places, and things. But just do the prayer and just keep doing it. I know it's tough, for 45 straight days, 5 minutes. It changes things. Let me tell you, it changes things. It's changed huge things in my world as well. It's very simple."
And Dawn, after you do that prayer, you should probably ask the question, what will it take for me to have clarity and ease around all of this? And anything that doesn't allow that, you can destroy. Okay.
What was that last part?
And anything that doesn't allow that, destroy and uncreate. Yeah, if you want to make a full process.
I'm not exactly sure why, Christina, the 45 days, this comes from A Course in Miracles, but it is a channeled message.
I've never heard that from the Course in Miracles, but that's cool. All right, I see we've got some messages on the chat.
Let me, sure, let me,
don't have my
so Dawn, are
Thank
you
you so
complete
much.
right now? And I ask also that you just drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Step
Okay.
into the healing, and integrate. You moved a lot. You had a lot of awareness. Are you complete?
I am, and thank you so much, ladies.
Of course. Let
This
me
will
close
be
your records.
available on a recall so I can rewatch it, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, the stream will
Okay.
be out in the evening today.
And
Thank
remember,
you.
this reading is for everyone too. Thank you. Thank you for being the person that steps forward and allows everyone to have healing. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. And I would like to thank the lords of the Akashic Records for their point of view. Our records are now closed. Our records are now closed. The records are now closed. Amen.
And right now, while we're still small in our business, Lianka and I are offering $100 add-on individual one-on-one sessions for $100 for everyone that's in the lounge, which is a $29 a month investment. So if you do want to work with us on a weekly basis or a monthly basis and just kind of keep working through these things, there you've got, past that's probably less than it would cost a psychologist. So I just want to make that available to you. And so you know that when you join the community, we're here supporting you all the way through. Again, just an invitation.
Tarek says, I resonate with your share, felt these words to share, if I may. And says, I believe feeling down or sad and many unexpected feelings these times is normal, yes. And part of the deep healing before we arrive to the new, yes. To manifesting our heart's call, yes. We might not know where these feelings are coming from or why we know, or the things we know, we have already healed or processed are coming back. It's already, it's just healing at a deeper level. And it says normal to feel and a natural part of the growth to claim the new, safe, and will change as long as we believe, relax, and not fall into despair. Remember, give yourself grace. Thank you for sharing that.
And also,
I love it.
when you do have, and I'll let Lianka speak sometime too. But whenever something is or out of balance, or you have this cloud of depression that comes by, and you're like, oftentimes you need to look at, was I judged? Am I judging myself? And it'll come back to something icky somebody said or something happened, and you just got a little tweaked about it. And every time you get a little tweaked and it turns into a bigger tweaking, you can simply go back and ask a question about it. Simple things like, I'm curious, what is this? And you will get a message from somewhere, usually. You can ask that somewhere what it is and where it's from and make sure that it's divine, and, and ask more questions about that. So just, to kind of keep the energy moving, because if you are, and say you are depressed, you will continue to be that frequency of that ickiness until it's unresolved or you talk this through. Sometimes, and many times, you don't know what it is. And it could be the earth's, you can give it back to the earth. Sometimes I'm like, take it back, take it back, take it back. And I'll feel better in like the next few minutes. People that have lifetimes of trauma, you got to work at them one at a time. And like I said, I've become like a dog with a bone around these things, because I feel that this is an ask and receive universe. We should have what we want. So just, even if you're concluding, yeah, these are wonky times, great. And what else is possible within your system so that you can be in your ease, joy, and glory? Did you have something to say about it?
No, that was great. I think you touched on it. I was going to say, remember, grace is it's a gift. And right now, I invite all of us on the line to give ourselves grace, because remember, we are not incarnated right now for an accident or by coincidence. This is the time of change. This is a huge time of change, and there are huge shifts going on in the world that I know you know if you just, happen to scroll
Turn on
past
the
any of
TV.
any media, or just even if you're just being here. It's a lot of times the earth is calling upon those who are here, the people in humanity. We tend to take this on as our own, and so just remember, if you feel kind of the crazies, you can give it back to consciousness as transformed. You're not giving it back. You're not giving back negative juju. You're giving it back transformed, but give it back to consciousness. Thank you. I have the awareness. So you don't have to take on the crazies for everybody, because I have those times too. This is a new earth that we're bringing in. This is big stuff, big planetary shift. This has never happened in in any planet's history. Yeah, there you go. We as humans right now that are incarnated have taken this on so that we can do the shift, and it's never happened before. So these are big things that we came here to do, and that we forgot. Go figure.
We've got 12 minutes. You want to take one more?
Sure. Let's see. Well, actually, I don't know if I can do a full one, but let's see.
Well, let's just open it up and see where we go.
Yeah.
Is it Suzanne? Because I don't have my glasses on. Oh no, my mic dropped.
Everything about the mic drop.
Woo! That probably sounded unfun.
It didn't really.
Okay, good.
It's a good mic. Okay. But let's see. Christina says, I know we are so many that are moving at this very moment, as well as changing life, work. Yes. Again, give yourselves grace, please.
Yeah.
Right now, we've got a comet that's it's got a swirl at its core. We're in the middle of the height of a solar cycle, which means that there are a lot of upgrades that are happening to the DNA here on Earth right now. And this is different because we also have the eclipse energy. So look, you subscribe or not, but I'm just telling you, that's a lot going on up there. So if you're taking it on and you're feeling like all these different symptoms, you can read about it.
Who does it belong to?
Right.
Earth.
Right. So just give yourself grace, please.
All right, Suzanne, you're up. Or Suzanne.
Is it okay if I go ahead?
Yes,
Yeah,
go for it.
please.
You can hear me? Great.
We can.
Oh my God, this is wonderful. Well, I'm not exactly sure what I was just going to say what I'm supposed to say. I'm not supposed to say anything except what wants to come out. I've been dealing with a lot of financial stresses in the last 8 years, and I've processed a lot of, I'm a survivor of a horrific domestic violence relationship, and before that relationship, I had no problems manifesting things that I wanted to have or that were important to me. Like, for instance, one year I needed $3,000 or I couldn't go traveling, and bam, 2 months before I said I'm going at this time, it came.
Of course.
So
can I
I
start
know-
with asking you some questions and we can unveil the story with it?
Yes.
So with this relationship, it almost comes across, and you're going to be like, no, but just be with it. Did he steal your money?
Yes.
Okay. Oh God, I actually thought you were going to fight me on that one.
No, absolutely. He did.
So is he still doing that?
No. I
Is he
kicked
still
him
doing
out.
that energetically?
Ooh.
So in other words, has that, okay, let me just ask that question. Is he still being it energetically?
I don't, I'm not sure, but I feel like not. And I say that because I've done a lot of healing through that, about that relationship. And I've gone into the Akashic records and I've erased all of our contracts. It was through a Reiki master that I did that. And all of our, whatever contracts we had with each other, they were totally like declared null and void. And the chapter was closed because I was very clear. I don't ever want to come in contact with his energy again.
Yes.
Ever.
So yes, that's great on her. Are you certain throughout your field that that is true? Just be with the question. Don't. Are you certain through and through, up, down, through all of you as an infinite being that you know that that is 100% true?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You know, if somebody would have said that to me 3 days ago, I would have said absolutely. And you saying that right now, I don't know. I'm uncertain if it is 100% true.
And that's okay.
And that's totally fine. So
Yeah,
all that
it doesn't make it.
So any leftovers from this entire, connection that you once had, even where you've entrained to some of his, things around money, or entrained even to his parents' things around money, and everything that is, would you be willing to destroy it and create an entirety?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And return to sender with consciousness attached, return to sender with consciousness attached, return to sender with consciousness attached.
Yes, absolutely.
And take a breath. And any entities that he had that now like to hang out with you because you can hear them, all of those, would you be willing to ask them to come forward and destroy and then create their existence in the relationship with you? You might need to do this twice though.
Yes.
And take a breath.
Yes, I am willing.
Thank you. And there's one last entity. Do you talk with entities at night or something like that?
It's funny that
Yes,
you got that.
I have conversations with my angels and my guides and
one of
my
them
ancestors.
Is possibly a trickster, which means they are acting as if they are a guide and they are not. And you need to confront them. Sorry guys. Sometimes it's just weird.
Wow.
So we can try to confront it right now, but this might have to happen directly from you, where you step into the potency of all of you and you go, get away, never again, cut off all connections, right? So, but let's try to do it as a group, you guys, because if we all put our energy into helping, like, not even just her tricksters, but if you have a trickster too that's talking to you, and especially if it uses the word you, a lot of times our guides won't use the word you. You need to do this. Do you hear this? And so that's like usually how you know whether it's an entity that's just bothering you and bothering your flow versus angels and guides. So this trickster, we're going to call it Tommy or Tammy. It's a Tommy or Tammy one. Trickster, come forward. Who are you? Who were you before that? Who were you before that? who will you be in the future? What's your job here with Suzanne? What was your job here before that? What was your job here before that? What will your job be in the future? Please take all your magnetic blueprinting and leave her body now.
This is for everyone. Whew.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Everyone's releasing any event that they may have.
All right, Suzanne, take a breath and tell me what you sense in your body now. Is it there more space, less space? What's the change?
It feels like there is an electric current running through my body right now. It feels like more space, but it feels like if all of my cells individually could be on kind of this high alert, not like danger, but just this whoa awareness. That's how it feels.
Is that required for you right now?
It feels like there's a reason for this like high energy. And
I feel like I want to touch my head and above your head or something. Does that mean anything to you? That's a weird one. I've ever said
oh my
before.
God. Well, I just had
From
this
above?
vision. The only time that has happened to me is when I was growing up in this traditional Christian household and community, and the minister sometimes would do that, put his hand on my head and above, like with this, a blessing or with the Holy Spirit.
It seems
or
that might have been the way that guy that both their angels and that got in. It just, I don't know, but that's just so icky to even say that. I'm sorry.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because they're, Okay, well, we have awareness now. And now, as far as money and finances go, it's really about you to get really present on how money wants, like not even you asking for money to flow to you in all ways possible. It's like being able to open the door. I also get that this may take about 8 to 10 days before you're going to get this opening of the door too. Wow, you're actually pretty easy to read. It's kind of awesome. So again, so the question I gave the previous one, what would it take for me to have clarity and ease with all of this? What would it take for me to have clarity and ease with all of this would be your question. It still might take 8 days though.
Yeah, I feel like there's not anything that is instantaneously coming. Like it needs to settle first. And then, kind of like when the dust settles and then everything is clear and there's this picture, that's how I kind of feel like it is.
That's almost exactly how I'm perceiving it too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what would it take for this dust to settle faster? If there's any way to speed this up for you, I would be kind of curious about. And one day at a time. I mean,
yes.
Right now, things have changed. What do you want to bet? You'll go to bed tonight. Tomorrow you'll wake up and feel a little different.
Oh yeah.
And then you're going to be like, this is interesting. And you'll get curious about that and maybe get some clarity on that. And then I think you're going to have a big aha in a couple, it seems like less than 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. And that literally looks like it's specifically around having another like gig that you do or a little job for income or income comes and you're like, I wasn't expecting that. It seems like it's that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Is there
Interesting.
anything that I can do like right now or today to
Keep
Yeah.
asking the
I
dust to
think I
settle.
keep
like the
asking
process?
questions. Journal is what
Journal.
comes up. Journal, move, drink water, all those things. that we
Put pen
keep
and
saying.
paper too.
Pen and paper. Is
Yeah,
we
no
both
no
got that.
computer. Yeah, you want to write.
Yeah,
You want to
yes.
write.
Yes.
Give yourself some
Okay.
quiet time. Pull out that pen and paper. Take a couple deep breaths and just write whatever comes out. Goofy, whatever symbols, whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just you can even just let your hand free flow for a little while, and then a couple pages, and then you can start writing your messages to yourself.
Hi, Sherry.
Okay.
Hi.
Wow. All
Thanks.
right.
Thanks,
My God.
Suzanne.
Thank you so much.
You're so
Thank
welcome.
you. Yes.
All right.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
No.
Hi. So you get to see us. We are we do a live. Everything is live. So we'll start the recording in just a second. But we've just been interacting with the
With the
audience,
group.
yeah.
We've just been.
Okay, great. Sorry, I had a few tech difficulties over here.
You're great.
Oh,
That's
you're
why we do
I'm here
live.
now.
Well, it was all in perfect timing.
It was.
because,
Okay,
Suzanne
good.
had more questions
I
or
figured.
answers. All right, here we go. We start the recording. Oh, I have to stop. Forgot we had a recording going. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
And this is the Hot Hustle Show. Today's guest is Sherry Mosley, and we are going to talk about the Aquilorians and a lot of things that are probably out of this world. Leonka, you want to give her more?
Good morning. So, Sherry, let's just dive right in. I think this group is really open right now. And I like to call us kind of like the, very advanced Navy SEALs of consciousness. And we're not afraid to really just be open and go there. Tell us a little bit about how you got into this work and what really led you to here.
Especially your story at Mount Shasta, where you started to channel this.
Okay, those are two very different stories.
Okay. Let's go about
Give us
Shasta.
the mini version of both.
Okay, how I got into all of this. Well, you're really just ultimately following a calling. But I'd say, since childhood, I grew up in Northern California in kind of a spiritual community. So, I was raised, I guess, focused on alternative everything. And I've been psychic since birth. So it was more of learning to not let my psychic ability control me, but learning to work with it and then hand it over to a higher purpose, right? So through that, I always felt a calling towards alternative health and healing. And that ultimately led to enrolling in acupuncture school. But before that, it was really during my Saturn's return. I don't know if you're familiar with that. At age 28 and a half, you get this urge that, okay, I've got to get my life together. What am I really doing on the planet? And I started buying all these books on shamanism, and I knew nothing about it at the time. So I went and saw a shaman here in the Bay Area, and I learned Reiki and shamanism, then enrolled in acupuncture school, left my .com job, and it was just off to the races. However, I will say that's right when Pluto came into Capricorn, and I have 5 planets in Capricorn. So it was basically my turn to go through awakening and transformation, just like Pluto came right into Aquarius right now. Right, we're on a whole new Aquarius with Pluto cycle for 20 years, and I had my 16 years of Pluto and Capricorn.
Wow.
But and I studied with the Foundation for Shamanic Studies, and that really immersed me into the spiritual world. in a sense that that's when I really got rid of my fears of the spirit world and my psychic abilities. You know, I was seeing so much passed on souls and sensing things. And once I did that, it just opened the door.
Nice.
And then finally, once I graduated acupuncture school, I was doing A Course in Miracles. I don't know if everybody's
I love
familiar.
Course in Miracles. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful piece of work.
And I combined that with doing the shamanic journey work that I was doing, and Akashic Enlightenment was given to me. I was told this is the prayer that you're supposed to use, and this is what you're supposed to teach.
Nice.
I said, okay. You know, at that point, I was good at listening to my spirit guides and following through, which is really ultimately what it's all about. Once you get on this journey, it's really about being able to receive the guidance, hear the guidance, and then be able to follow it, even though the ego may have a lot of back talk and insecurities and fears. But you're like, that's okay. I understand, but we're going to go forward and do this.
Yeah. So great. Like, yeah, very brave of you. Very brave of you. And thank you for doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, I've kind of played around with some of the Galactic Council, and you know, I've heard of Palladians and the Lemurians and the Arcturians, but I've never heard of the Aquilorian.
Yeah, so I'll dive into that.
Yes, that's, you know, it's funny because I'm like a water creature myself. I swim, you know, like 3 or 4 times a week,
Oh, same
even
here.
in like the freezing
too.
cold.
Me too.
Yeah.
And,
Rainy days, doesn't matter. Gotta get on the. Yeah, I'm a water baby too.
Me too.
Water's pouring outside the window here in California.
That is funny. Yeah.
It is. But ironically, the Aquilorians don't have a lot to do with water.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's just their name, other than how they look. So this, when I was in acupuncture school, I had a friend, a shamanic peer, who was hosting retreats in Mount Shasta. And I went on a few of those retreats, and they were doing like Stephen Greer, ET contact.
Yeah.
And this person particularly worked with the Arcturians. So I first met the Arcturians, and then I was in Akashic Enlightenment once I received Akashic Enlightenment. This was in 2018. And I was up there, everyone's saying hi. I think a bunch of my clients are on here.
Awesome.
Yeah, a lot are on today.
Hey.
So in Mount Shasta doing ET contact, and I was in my Akashic Enlightenment, which puts you into a field of energy that is very high frequency. It opens up what I call this vertical channel, which could be considered your ascension column and or all of your transpersonal chakras. And once you start doing this regularly, this is how you open up communication to higher beings, right? And that can be multiple beings when you're in a frequency like that and you're working in it regularly. You're kind of, it's like doing shamanic journey. You know, you will meet the spirit guides and teachers that are aligned for you.
Nice.
So I was up there, and I had already felt a calling when I first got up there before, months before. Calling me. I was having dreams of UFOs. I was like, something's happening.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
So, once I was up there during contact, I usually speak light language spontaneously when the contact happens. And this beautiful crystalline ship came in. And this is, I'm seeing this clairvoyantly. So it's the like astral connection, right? It was not a 3D reveal. But it was the most beautiful crystal and blue ship. There was one other woman there who also saw it.
Oh, fascinating. I'm so like
ship. And so I was asked to come onto the ship. One of the Aquilorians came down, and so everything is this very opaque, transparent blue light. That's just their energy. Their ship is, everything is. So it's a very high frequency. They're very ethereal ET contact, ETs or interdimensional beings. and you could consider them like an angelic type frequency because of that, or because of being high frequency and angelic. They are
Right.
ethereal in their appearance, right? And when I came onto the ship, they showed me this one being, one Aquilorian. They introduced themselves, and I guess I should write a book on this. It's quite a story, isn't it?
Well, at least you have the recording here.
I've written it down somewhere on I think it's on the Aquilorian Crystal and Light Healing training page. But yeah, I think people really like to hear it. But it brought me into the ship and showed me this. It was like a lotus made out of crystal and light. And I was told this is what controls our entire ship, our entire community. This is how we live. Like, this was their life force of everything, right? Which that's basically a symbol of enlightenment. They've already achieved that. They know how to work with universal source energy to live and run everything on that energy. And so they had me connect with that lotus flower and then said, we're going to do a healing modality. They didn't tell me the name at that time. We're going to teach you how to heal and work with this energy. And I always say, okay.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds beautiful, and then I think I had to come back down because our group was, getting ready to go. And we were there a couple of nights. So, I don't remember how many other times I went to talk to them that time, because all the times I've gone up there since are kind of blurring together at this moment. Yeah. But I went into my Akashic enlightenment and then asked once I was home, okay, what is this modality? Let's talk about this. And then I started downloading and writing down the knowledge and information about it. And I went back up in, so 2019 was the first time. And then, so it's 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. I go up there and I become attuned to more levels of the Aquilorian Crystal and Light Healing.
Cool.
And then when I get home, it unpacks. It takes a couple of months, and then I just start typing and writing. It just starts downloading. I'm like, okay, this is the next class.
Yay.
Wow.
I'm up to level 10 at this point.
Really?
Well, and thank you first off.
And it's so funny that you use. Do you know if you're one of the first contacts here on Earth? That
I think so. I think I've heard one other person say that they connect with them. So it's possible to connect with their overall frequency, but I don't know anybody else is doing the Aquilorian Crystal and Light Healing. But they're basically considered the angelics to the Galactic Federation.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or the Arcturians, Pleiadians, right? So
I get that.
More ethereal.
When I tapped into it, I knew it was part of the council, which, it's kind of cool that I even know that in the first place. I talked to all of y'all guys. There's it's so interesting the people, the channelers that are really specific these days. There's really been an evolution in channeling in the last 10 years, that there's, so many specific ways that we can heal with channeling. And one of the things I read that was in your package is that you say they're kind of helping us bring in this earth where we are in a field to communicate with the galactic now better than ever. I think I read something to the tune of that. Does that make sense to you? Did they give you that message specifically, that they're now here to contribute and help us?
So I don't know that it says that exactly on the page, but overall, as we connect with higher beings and we become more comfortable with them, our consciousness, our DNA, our biology, everything shifts. The comparison that I make is, imagine that nobody knew what sharks are. They're on the planet, but nobody knows what they are, and they could be really scary. because I mean, well, they are a predator, they're not even coming in and saying, hi, we're so warm and fuzzy. Right? But there's just this sense of intimidation when you first connect. Even when I first connected with the Arcturians, that was kind of my gateway ET experience.
Yeah.
I was terrified, my whole system just went, oh my gosh, what's happening? And I'm just like, wow, that's quite the reaction. So we're just going through that process to clear it out of our systems so that we normalize the contact. And, once you do that more and more and more, then there's, the higher dimensional ETs tend to come in, or depending on the work that you do, it's going to depend on, just like people, it's going to depend on the people that you connect with as well as the extraterrestrials that you connect with.
I gather that. So just in kind of like, for breaking it down, what are the reasons why one would want to receive and for the layman's, just receive the healing, the information that you have, or connect at all?
You mean the aquamarine crystal and light healing?
Yes.
Yeah, so the crystal and light healing, well, it heals on all levels of healing, meaning the astral, the spiritual, the karmic, the causal, emotional, physical, and it'll work with you on those levels depending on what you need, right? So some people will go into it for consciousness evolution, and it will help you awaken and move your blocks to that path. And then it will help also move out the spiritual roots of any physical illnesses. I taught the classes to China online. They did a free webinar, and there were 80 people in there doing the personal healing, and the responses I got, I was like, this is amazing, because I'm doing this, but I don't know what's happening really until everybody is telling me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I have my own experience, and people are like, my headache is gone. This pain that I've had forever is gone. This is gone, and this. I'm like, oh my God, this is. I actually put that recording up of the healing on my YouTube if people want to.
Oh, wonderful. Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't think they gave me, I don't remember if the user feedback was in it or not, but it's quite profound. And even those who I attune to the frequencies, the biggest thing I've had is both of their partners ended up having to go through surgery. And then they run the aquamarine crystal and light healing on them afterwards. And then they go back to the doctors, and the doctors ask, what are you doing? Why are you, and how are you healing so fast?
Oh man, that's so wonderful.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and thank you for being so brave to make the connection, to follow your all of it, right? To keep saying yes. And then to bring it, to sit down and take the work and type it out and then share it with people and to heal. It's quite the undertaking, I know for sure. So thank you, but
Yeah, I'd say that the hardest part is processing the levels when they come in. When I come back from Shasta, sometimes I'm just out of commission. Oh my gosh.
What are your experiences? Yeah.
Like, help me integrate.
Because you're human, right? Like, we're having a human experience, and it can be a lot sometimes. I wonder.
I've gotten used to it more as the years have gone on. The frequencies are getting higher, so it's easier. But at first, when you get these structures in your system, you're reorganizing so much, right? And,
how many years ago was the first encounter, the first contact?
So 2018.
Okay.
Was the first, when I first met them, what I described. And 2019 was the first time they started attuning me. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But I was going to say, it also, sometimes I call it like a very super advanced Reiki or medical Qigong, which is, you're working with, because sometimes I'll see the meridian systems and the chakra systems, and then they show the auric body and the energy bodies and the toroidal field, right? And sometimes it also, will even work like psychic surgery. So you'll see organ systems all combined together. So it's kind of limitless. I'm always like, wow, what's happening?
Amazing.
That's so cool. Can we do a group kind of worked so that everyone can experience the energy?
Yeah, I was going to answer your other question too. Why do ET contact? Is that
I think
still
you
a
answered
relevant?
it. Why,
Oh, okay.
why would we want to learn this and why? But I think that answers that question. Why would we have contact that way? So that, gosh, these amazing healing, so you can continue to share with us, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
ET contact, it's different for different people, but usually there's a curiosity.
Sure.
There's a
Starts there.
curiosity. And then it's like, well, why wouldn't I want to know a higher
Yeah. Yeah.
enlighten me, please?
Well, I feel that they're more specific with us, like the Arcturians for healing and the Palladians for information than, well, the Palladians are less clear, but like Archangel Michael, it's really so much about adoration and love and love and adoration and and it seems that these other groups within the Galactic Council actually has a kind of specific information for us, not just be love. That's just my awareness that I could be totally wrong, and I'd love it if an archangel channel would call me out on it. But I that's how I perceive it for me, is that, I mean, that's great and all, but it's just like, give me more than that. I mean, if I'm going to play with you and play in the field with you, give me more than that. So this is my thought.
As they say in shamanism, careful what you ask for.
Hey.
Yeah.
I have an example. What happens if you keep asking and you're like, well, I want to know more. I want to know more.
Oh,
I
gosh.
know. Well, I'm all about the question and following the question. So we'll see where that goes. It should be an interesting
I love it. I love
years.
it so much. It's almost like I can't turn the curiosity off. It's almost like everything keeps landing for me. And I think it's a blessing. So it's, we'll see what happens. Let's you
I
want to take
have
somebody?
a specific ailment if you would like to do
I knew
something
it.
specific. But if we wanted, whatever feels lighter for you, that's fine where we want to go.
Well, there's a couple of options. I can do an overall session for everybody, or we can do specifics.
Can we do a group thing so that so they can kind of get in the frequency of it and then take a couple?
Yeah, let me open the space a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I didn't really plan ahead to do that. So just give me a minute to do that.
Absolutely.
I can already feel them coming in, but I'll drop in a little more here first. Okay. All right. Okay. So you wanted to start with the group? Is that what
Let's start with the group.
All right. So we'll just bring in the Aquarians, connecting to the Aquarians. And we'll just run, you just want to do like a quick 3 minutes or something? Okay?
Yeah, let's start with that.
You may get sleepy with the energies too. So if anybody falls asleep, don't worry about it. All right, so let's go ahead. So we're just setting an intention for whatever's in your highest and best to be healed at this time. You may feel them working on you, or maybe like you're in one of their healing beds or chambers. You may feel it running in a certain area of your body or consciousness. It looks like they're also bringing in an overall light upgrade. Just touching everybody with new light frequencies. And there's just a sense of starting to integrate. You may feel the energy starting to get lighter. And just coming back.
Interesting.
Rub my hands together, come back.
Rub my hands together. Gotta get some chi going.
Brings you back.
Wow, that's an interesting frequency. They're like way out there. No, they don't do anything else. They sure drop everyone's vigilance system, don't they? The capacity that you have to be able to take their attunements has got to be quite a capacity, because just 3 minutes of that, I mean, that's a strong frequency.
Yeah, some of my regular clients that usually go up there with me, I do the higher contact and ascension retreat in Mount Shasta every year. That's when I get attuned. But my clients that are up there, they see I eat a ton of food, I take a bunch of Chinese herbs, like it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Oh
eat
my
really
gosh.
clean, drink a lot of water.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, yeah. Well, we've got some questions on the chat though.
Oh, I
Thank
love
you.
Can
Thank
you look at like the frequency within a body and tell people, like, for example, Tina asked, can you ask if mold is affecting my body? Like, is it that clear that you could just get an answer like that?
I don't usually do yes or no questions. It's kind of like what symptoms are you experiencing? Because she's already got a diagnosis there.
I see. So she's hit a conclusion so that there's
the
no.
ego loves to say, this is how it is. Confirm it for me or don't. If it's not that, then I'll find something else. But we want to get out of that kind of cycle.
So if for example, I have pain in one of my legs, is that something that I can get more clear on where to go to heal that, to change that from them?
Yeah, so if I do a personal session on somebody, then they'll show the deeper reasons, they'll help clear it. But then there also will be guidance usually if there's a dietary or lifestyle change that needs to come in. Like sometimes I'll have foods that come in, sleep cycles, and then they'll go into clearing out karmic patterns from your ancestral line, or maybe there's something in your relationship. So they'll go into all of that. But usually I like to do 3 sessions with someone to really start. I mean, it depends how superficial, chronic illness, and deeper illnesses that are long term to take a lot more sessions because it's got a deeper root.
Right.
Yeah. So it really depends. Yeah. If something's also from like an accident that happened a long time ago, how long has it been there? How much other imbalance has it created? Yeah. So it really depends on the length of time and severity.
Okay.
Which sometimes the client won't even know.
Right.
But yeah, so sometimes I can tend to see, I guess they call it like a medical psychic, like I can see the organ system and all of that. I think that's just for me though, because I have the acupuncture medical training in my brain already, right? So
it makes sense.
So it
terminology
uses your library that you already have. Yes, makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know that the people that I've trained that they get that as well, because I was doing that also even before, just with Akashic Enlightenment, and now they just do that. So yes, I can do that.
Yeah. Well, here's a lighter construct, I think, that probably a lot of people would align with. But the question is, I'd like to ask how I can let go of the unconscious, quote, worry pattern about the worst pattern.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we going to go into personal?
We can go to personal.
Yeah, I thought maybe we would.
Okay. So the way I generally like to do that is have someone come on with their voice, and I like their first just to connect more directly.
Great. Can we do me first? I just feel called.
Oh, sure.
I don't usually ask for. I try to not, but I just feel like it's coming through.
Yeah. Just say your first name out loud, just to open up.
Jeneth.
Yeah, it just kind of opens the consent. Right?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you have pain in your one leg, 2 leg, left leg?
It's my right leg.
Okay. So we're just going to do 3 minutes on the right leg. Okay. First thing they're going to is the nervous system. Bringing you more into a parasympathetic, calming the nervous system is tension. And tension is leading to stress, a tight muscle, and some sort of overuse. I just seen a lot of tight.
Just adjusted.
I heard that.
Was that your leg?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so audible that she heard it.
I heard it. There we go. It also seemed to be kind of in your hip structure at first. So that may have been what popped. It's getting pretty deep now.
Oh my God, weird.
All right, I want to go.
I am hearing drinking more water, or like better hydration, electrolytes. Moisten the tendons and muscles and reducing stress. You don't want to exercise or do movement while you're stressed, because it's causing things to pull out of alignment. Yeah, then there's a deeper emotional pain underneath that they are clearing. Right now they're starting to integrate. All right.
Interesting.
How you doing?
All of that's really true. I have nerve pain from a hip injury, but I didn't want to give you too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because it's like loose in the hip socket, the muscles are always sore, and but mostly it was funny. They started with the nerves first. It's like they got it. And I feel really a lot more relaxed in my whole body right now. I feel like I'm on a drug almost.
I know. You're like,
All right, great. Well, let's now that I'm all high and everything.
Yeah.
This might be one of my favorite groups of people to talk to now.
Okay, I want to go.
You're not the only one. Everyone's like, oh, more Applebee's. I'm like, okay.
I may have to get some sessions.
I'm saying,
wow. That's cool. Okay, well,
let's take some.
Sorry, I can't hear you that well. So.
Oh, really? Can you hear me?
Her energies.
I think I'm just like in.
Oh, you're in the zone. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll take. Let's see. We'll take. Let's see. Christina, you've had your hand up for a while. We'll go ahead and take you if you want to unmute.
Hi there, ladies. Good evening.
Hi.
Lovely to speak to you. I got just two questions. I wonder. I have visits during the night. Spiritual, different ones. It seems, and I was told not last year, the year before, that it was actually one of the things that was coming to me was an alien, and she described what it was. So she said, but it was one of the nice ones. So I'm just do you know anything about? Yeah. It was, she said, I have visits, I get visits at nighttime. It's a little bit less now. And one of the visits, she said, was alien. And she described how they look like. And she said, but I don't need, so if I feel someone staring at me when I'm sleeping there, so I shouldn't be worried. And I'm like, okay. And then she explained how it looked like or what it looked like or whatever. But I just wonder, why is that, or why did that come, and are they still here, and also if you generally can feel something in my body. That's two questions.
Yeah, they're two very different.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. One is more almost like a reading of Akashic enlightenment. The Alphalorians wouldn't really they don't really talk about why something is happening, if that makes sense. They just kind of help you with something, if that's
okay.
But I didn't know, did somebody tell you this is happening, or are you're aware of it? You're waking up and you're seeing beings in your room with you? Is that?
Well, I feel it. I have a lamp who goes on the emotions. Well, I got two things, because either I get the whole body gets like goosebumps, from the feet up to my head, or just from half of my body and up. And I also can, before I can feel people sitting on my bed. I can smell them, I can smell perfume stuff, and I can feel if they touch my head, my hair, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, and how do you feel about that?
Well, some things is okay, but
exciting?
Some things is okay, and some things I'm not sure, because one time my friend who cleans houses, she said to me, I had 40, no worries, she said that she never seen so many souls in one house. I had 42 people there, souls.
Okay.
So she said,
we're going to run the Alphalorians just to help you work with this, right? So again, we're moving out of what it is.
Okay.
And what are you experiencing, and how to help you with that.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we're going to help Christina here. Let's bring in Alphalorian crystalline healing for 3 minutes with Christina to help her with these, goosebumps, contact, any fears that she's having with what's occurring with her at night. They're saying we don't usually do this type of work, but we'll take a look. The first thing they're saying, it's more that you're going through a growth period. of awakening. So they're going to help you with this so that it feels more natural.
Okay.
It looks like they're showing maybe you did some sort of training and opened your channels, and now it's too open and you're not knowing how to navigate it smoothly. There we go. So they're working on the third eye and your higher sights or higher clairvoyances of being able to see and sense other dimensional beings. They're connecting you. I've never seen them do this before. They're connecting you with, looks like you have an angelic guide. Oof. Well, this looks like Archangel Metatron. I've never seen this crossover before. This is kind of amazing. Okay. Yeah, it looks like they're also doing a clearing of your house. Or they bring, okay, so they're working on you and opening your higher frequencies, but turning the channel more to beings that will assist you, like your guides, including Archangel Metatron. And when you call in Archangel Metatron, then there is a clearing of the energy of your home to a more harmonious frequency, because your frequency is more harmonious. So you will learn to call in Archangel Metatron to assist you with these things and to clear anything that feels uncomfortable for you. They're still working on the third eye and the pineal gland. Yeah. So they're opening that channel, the third eye to the pineal gland to the back of the head. It's like the psychic channel. There's some sort of block that they're clearing. There we go. So now I see that the light that goes up to the crown is now more open, and the connection is more open for a clearer connection, which will make you feel more comfortable. And now they're beginning to integrate this. And they're just giving, a reminder of don't be afraid of the connections that you're making. Just look at it as connecting to somebody on the human plane. You're not disempowered just because it's on another dimensional plane. And they're saying that this is also why they're introducing you to your guide at this time. So you can just call in the angels or Metatron as a specific guide to help you. Thank you.
Wow.
How are you doing?
That was amazing. I was amazing. I was so grateful. I felt in my head. I don't know if this got something to do with it, but I've had pressure before in my head for about a year after an accident, yeah. And now I don't know, but normally I have it on the left side, this pressure, and nobody can tell me what it is. But now on the right side of my head, on the top, I felt nearly like burning. I felt like a little bit discomfort actually. It was really weird, you know. But I just take it for it's all good, you know. So it's like, but it was, yeah, it was. I'm so grateful because I've been wondering so much because I was introduced to the angels about 2006, 2007, and was told I had a direct connection with them, and I always have a deep connection with them, even if I don't hear them, speaking. But I'm very intuitive, so it's just so beautiful. It's really nice. Thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think it looks like the accident may have uh, jarred your connection and perception of the other realities, right? And so when we go through shock, we can kind of go to the other side and come back. Once
Yeah,
we clear that, because they're opening your higher dimensional channels, which is our third eye, pineal
yeah,
gland, and then coming through the back of the head. And it looked like it was just out of alignment from the accident,
excellent.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really like a really, but like the head really, the whole body, whatever. So, and nobody
Yeah.
told me what it was, and I couldn't get rid of it. It was like a, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
amazing.
see how that settles for you. And everybody always drink more water after these sessions, because sometimes there
Yeah.
can be some detox and we're moving energy. So it always helps with the aquamarine crystal light healing.
Thank you so much to all of you ladies and to you specifically for this. There was,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Very
Thank
grateful.
you.
Yeah. Thanks, Aquas.
Mhm.
That was
Thanks,
beautiful.
Aquas.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's a really interesting energy. I think it's really delicious.
It is. She's like,
Yummy.
more.
We're gonna invite you on every
5
single
sessions,
show. All right, are you good to take one more?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I
let's
get
go.
healed as I do these. So
I love that.
Okay.
it's the initial processing that's hard. Once it's set
Yeah,
up and
integrated.
Yeah,
yeah.
great.
I'm
I
just
want to
gonna
go with Raya, who asked the question online earlier about the, gnawing on the worry.
And she's on the line. Hi,
There she is
Rhea.
on the line.
Hi, Sherry. Hi, Janet. Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
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 Hi, welcome.
Yeah. I just have this. I know I have beyond my own human awareness that I have this very excessive worry pattern.
Mm-hmm.
I think it show up very often, like in the session when it's a channel session, and they will be telling me I'm worrying too much and I'm worrying about the worst, and I just feel that I would like to that I feel it's like ancestral familial pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do the worry. All right. Yeah. Just go ahead and relax and we'll connect to the aquamarines. We'll just start the aquamarine crystal light healing here for Rhea. Worrying. Yeah, so they're showing you in the womb since maybe 3 months in utero. Yeah, some sort of panic, something that your mother went through. I just see her heart racing, the nervousness. And this kind of got into your nervous system. It's like a constant unsteadiness. Worry is not even the right word. It's like almost like a feeling like things aren't quite stabilized for you in the earth plane. Like the ground could fall out from under you at any time, which is, normally totally illogical, but it's what happened in utero. So you're carrying this frequency. All right, so now they're just running through your systems to clear it all out. particularly the nervous system. And then working a lot on the mind as well. And the gut too. It's almost like a nervous stomach. Working on the spine. You have a lot of habits formed around this that they're trying to break down, but you know, this is an example of something that's been here a long time and would take more sessions, but we're doing a little bit now. Yeah, there's a lot of habits around this, but there's a lot of yeah, it would take some work to unwind it all, but we're just doing the core right now, the root. A lot of work on the spine. Now they're clearing out all systems. They keep saying the habits are the problem.
Yeah, could you illuminate like what kind of habits?
There's just a lot of lifestyles and behavior patterns of coping that you've developed from this. It's like we're trying to rush through something too much. It's too much in a small amount of time. Yeah. Because they'd have to go into more ancestral work. But it's like lifestyle patterns and doing things in a place of nervousness rather than presence. That's the overall message. So just letting them start to integrate because they can't get to all of them. So they're just trying to get to the root. Could be from drinking water to how you're exercising, to how you're breathing, to how you're talking. The way that you go around your patterns of times of eating and how you do your work, how you communicate with people. I mean, there's so many. They're just trying to bring you because they don't want you to worry about that either. Which is the other reason they didn't want to tell you.
Yeah, now I have more
You're
worry.
already jumping on all of those things. Sorry, hold on a second. They're like, see what we mean? This is what we didn't want to tell her.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. It's an over control, right? The over control happens. So just trying to calm everything down again. There you go. Yeah, just let it go. The key is just to be present with whatever you're doing. Sure, it's coming from a present place. Go slower. There we go. Yeah, because it's not about the outcome, it's the presence that you apply to something, whatever you're doing. Yeah, we're just gonna keep integrating. This one's a little hard to come out of because there's still a lot more in here. We'll just integrate for now. Here we go. Good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I can feel the energy moving. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. I hope it supports others as well in the community. Yeah. Thank you.
Always, yeah, everyone benefits. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. How are you doing? How's everyone doing? Everyone's still awake.
Jennifer, you're like a different person now.
I know.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
just
It took me a little, I was kind of glad we took another caller because I was like, I don't know that I can speak any language anymore.
I could feel her, and I was like, "You okay?" She's like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Well, it was never that I was just like floaty. Like, I mean, it seems that they're like way out there too. You know, like, and it's really spacious. And it's just like, you know, but I'm like, as soon as I love it. I love this frequency. You know, sometimes there's some heaviness with some of the other ones. And, but this one is really delicious. I'm really enjoying this.
I'll have to raise my hand at the very end if we have a couple of minutes, but I definitely want to show people how they can work with you. You brought a really special package for us today to share with the audience, and if they just want to explore this work more, I mean, golly, what you put into this, you must be receiving so much information because I mean, this is amazing what you put together to share with our audience today.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about, we'll open it up and you can kind of speak on a couple things here that you put together for us.
Yeah, you lucky ducks. You get the
for real.
Oh, I know. I'm thinking, gosh, how did we find you again?
How did you find us? It's so funny. It's amazing. I believe nothing is by accident. So thank you so much.
Yeah, the golden keys to light being, I did that actually. So that's fresh from Mount Shasta. So when I say I come back and I unpack, I get my attunements for the crystal and light healing and everybody that's attuning to those frequencies. And then I usually get an event to do with the collective. And that's what these are. Okay. So right after I came back from Shasta, we did these, I think they were in like September, October.
Oh, nice.
And
that's not that long ago. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they're whew.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm excited.
Incredibly high frequency. Because I'll do, like in January, I did one for, harmonizing and rebalancing the body, which is very, different. It's more like a deep meditation, but these are incredible. They're a borderline attunement level. Okay. And they're extremely high frequency. So they're really opening your consciousness to coming into your light being self. Right. So really connecting to your true divine self. I love the birds that are coming in right now. Yeah. So
yeah. Thanks, birds. Thank you. Thank you all. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're really, really high frequencies for the golden keys to light being. People were just astounded with the frequencies. So it really just opens your consciousness to that true light being that you are, right? And so more or less, it's like a spiritual awakening package there, 1 and 2. And you'll just feel really blissed out with those. Yeah. And you can use them also as meditations, right? So if you have a specific one that you like, you can go to that and you can use that every day.
My gosh.
Meditation. Yeah, so they're great. And they're really helpful with coming into all the new frequencies that we're coming into now. Right.
And just so everyone knows, 1 and 2, that's number 1 is, the 6 weeks, and then you've got number 2 here, that's 6 videos. I mean, these are individual.
No, there's 3 in each.
3 each.
There's
Got it. Okay.
Video. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. But that's still huge. Like, wow. This is a lot.
Yeah, a lot of change
that you put here. Thank you.
So there's 3 30-minute transmissions, and we've been doing 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
You can do the math on that.
I was thinking this is my new go to sleep stuff.
Yeah. When I do the trainings, they say you only got to do like 10 or 20 minutes, and then in the groups, they just kind of set up in the beginning and the end because the frequencies work so fast. So we have 1 and 2 here, and which are great for learning the enlightenment, the awakening portion. And then the next one is totally different frequency way of using it. In this case, they are helping you to adjust to experiencing your own ET contact.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Everybody that did this had contact.
Oh, I'm
So
excited. Oh my gosh, I'm
it
so
was
excited.
it was really profound. Even people's partners, because they were running it in the house. And they're like, oh yeah, my partner like went on a ship at night. He was totally not ready. That's what happened.
How cool.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah, and it's beautiful. So they open up to the connecting to that, helping you get over the fears, right? So that you're not locking down in that biological fear of contact. Okay, so they're really laying down the frequencies like we talked about in the beginning that we're bringing into our planet, that we are not alone, right? And we're connecting to a version of Earth that it is regular that we have ET contact, and they're a regular part of our community and our daily life. And so when you get into that frequency and you've harmonized with it, then whatever ET contact is aligned for you at that time is what will start to happen in whatever form it's meant to happen. And it won't be in a way that, oh my God, I'm not ready for this and this is happening, right? You're only going to experience what you are ready for, and that'll change over time. So you can do this over again. And you can hear everybody sharing. So we always start off with a little intro, then I do the transmission, and then everybody shares their experiences. So you can have some validation through that.
Wow.
I'm just shaking my head.
I know everyone's like, oh,
no words anymore.
It's fascinating.
Well, it's funny you say
Such
that
a gift.
when I do the trainings at the beginning, there's a lot of information that's written, but the other ones, it's all energy, because there's nothing, you can't write this down.
No. Yes, and Jennifer and I talked about that. Sometimes we have the loss for words, and then right now I'm just like,
yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it is.
So
it's a little harder when you're running a podcast show.
This one, though, you know, and I think just reminder, you guys, tap into who you are and ask yourself which is right for you and what's right for you. But wow, my body really likes this frequency. It's like, yes.
If anybody could see, I mean, Jennifer is like totally different. You could see her energy field. Like,
oh,
it's
nice.
Just,
do you have time to do one more? I'm like, wow.
How long your show is? We're doing an hour or an hour and a half?
We've been, we're about right at an hour right now.
So we go about 15 minutes. Yeah, we go about.
Got plenty of time. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. I don't have a
and you guys, if you are watching the replay, just a reminder, the package is somewhere on this page. Even on YouTube, it's in the caption. And if you like and subscribe to YouTube, you'll get more of this delicious stuff.
Yay.
I'll definitely be back here to work with you guys. This is awesome.
Oh, how fun. Yes. Thank you.
And this group is really open to receiving too.
Sure.
You know, so it's like doing it as a collective like this is like, you know, it just seems that much more potent sometimes. It's great.
Yeah. It's like a group retreat.
Yeah, it really is. And we're all starting to become much more of a community too with their questions and stuff like that. Sherry, I have.
The greater the field is open.
Do you want to take two more and I'll raise my hand and tell you about my good old belly issue? And then, okay.
Yeah, just as long as one of you is still able to talk. Like, right? Because I don't want to knock her out of commission and then I'm running your podcast show.
Right. We're running, because it's a podcast
Sherry,
show.
Take over. I can't do this anymore.
It's funny.
I love it.
Years ago, I had a unconscious out-of-body experience on a live call. And I made it back right to wrap up the call. He had finished, you know, and I was on mute. And he's like, "Are you there? Jennifer, are you there?" And I'm like passed out. And, you know, and then I was like, "Here, what's here?"
Oh, interesting.
I mean, it was just such a cool thing. You know, so that was interesting. He's like, "If you're talking, I can't hear you." And I'm thinking, I wasn't even talking.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we can do two more and then, then you can go. Yeah.
Who do you want to do?
We can do
Natasha. It seemed like I skipped over her. All right, Natasha, you're up.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much for taking my call. I love your work. I was wondering if you could tune into my field. I'm having some unusual blood issues that have been going on, and I was just wondering what I could learn from it.
Yeah, could you just elaborate could you just say
Okay.
your name and then elaborate on
Sure.
what you're feeling and experiencing without the diagnosis? Yeah.
Oh, well, there's no diagnosis. I only do energy work. So my name is
You said blood
Natasha.
issues. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's sacral. It's womb stuff. I've had a lot of womb healings, and now it's just ongoing bleeding. But then I look at blood as being life force and joy, but maybe it's something deeper or something different.
Are you saying irregular periods? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's just not stopped. It's been ongoing for like over a month.
Okay. Did you just give birth recently or?
Oh, no, I don't have any children, but I have.
Oh, okay. You said wombs.
Yeah, well, it is the womb, or at least that's where the symptoms are manifesting, but it could be someplace else in the body or something beyond energetically.
Yeah, we're already starting to connect, so we'll bring in the aquarians.
Okay, thank you very much.
The first thing they're showing is iron. I don't know if you've had your iron checked.
No, I have not, but I've had a lot of bleeding in the past.
Okay. That was the first thing they showed was iron and all right, so now we're going deeper. So yeah, it's the fear of death. Actually, I haven't seen them do this in a while.
Okay, that would make sense.
There's a past life. It looks like you're being pushed under the water very, very deeply. And it's like you gave up your will to fight back. There's something that happened, some sort of like relationship trauma.
Wow, okay.
You do healing work or someone did healing work? There's something in here that's like something is disrupted. But now,
okay, sorry.
Yeah, they're just starting to go faster than I could talk.
Okay, no problem.
All right, so now we're doing the levels. This is more Chinese medicine, like qi, blood, yin, yang. Qi level is weak.
Yes, I feel.
You're not, yeah, you're drained. And
I'm not sleeping.
Okay, yeah.
There's been no sleep for 2 days, and I've tried so many different energy processes, and I feel like my life force is draining, and it's coming through this, but that's just how I feel. That could be totally off.
Yeah, part of it is there's somebody did a session on you and something is out of alignment.
Okay, I did have one.
And doing sessions on other people is exasperating it.
I had to do some Reiki for my mother, and I did have a session, but that was back in December. I did have a session 2 weeks ago with somebody, and I thought something was cleared. And I've had like 2 other room sessions over the last 2 months. And I'm also afraid of water in this life, so you're tapping into all kinds of things.
Yeah, there's part of it that's also blocking being healed. It's very hard to get into your field. Yeah, so just try to take a deep breath and stop thinking and receive. Okay, there we go. There you go. Just let go. Yeah, yeah, there we go. There we Alright. Yeah, so they're clearing some ancestral patterns of giving without receiving.
Okay. Thank you.
They're just showing this like white column of light of spirit source coming in with the crown, resourcing you, learning to resource yourself. Wow, that's intense. Oh. Yeah, just let that in. There you go. Now we're getting to the womb part. So in Chinese medicine, this is called the spleen not holding. Spleen qi sinking, not holding the blood. Spleen qi level.
Okay.
And without that, then the sleep will be disrupted. The herb formula is gui pi tong. You can actually get that on my website, or we may do a deeper session.
Okay, absolutely.
But
Thank
it
you.
would probably stop it immediately. After what the Aquamarians do here, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Oof, there we go. Yeah, I'd also get some liquid iron, and you eat meat, yes?
No, vegan, but I'm turning vegetarian. But I mean, is that what it will take to heal myself?
Yeah, you gotta
Like the
stop
physical
all that.
body?
Yeah, your cheese. They're just
Low.
showing. It's like they're adjusting it, but there's still like a hole. So
Okay.
yeah, meat like 3 times a day. You got to build it up because you have no chi.
No, it feels like
Or you
none.
gotta do, yeah, or do
Okay.
every day. You got to bring it in because right now we're just resourcing you. It's just like pouring in chi, trying to stop. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
they're actually showing like chicken soup, broth,
Okay.
chicken, potatoes, vegetables. Like eat that 3 times a day.
Okay.
Like deep, nourishing food, warm food,
Warm
not
food.
not cold and raw, warm food.
Okay. Hey, I'll do it if if that's what it takes. I've done, well, I've tried energetic work, but I guess the physical body needs different things.
Yeah, this is all on the physical level. At
Okay.
this point, it's a chi deficiency. It's all on the chi level.
Okay.
But
That
the
makes sense.
patterning, they cleared the patterning. Okay, so just gonna let them integrate. But the patterning is the not letting yourself receive. Right? There's some sort of
A block.
giving, yeah. So they worked on that some, but there's more, right? Because this is more long-standing, but it's the
Okay.
giving without giving to yourself or the giving without receiving.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
really deep. Thank you.
And in the end, they showed liver, like the liver capsules. You can get some of those too. Liver capsules, iron, broth, and gui pi tong.
Okay. Thank you kindly for this, and I will look into your package and your website. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Now, so if that was hormones and her hormones need to be balanced, or she has
Not
endometriosis,
hormones.
it's not okay. So, but you can ask questions like that, and you know that it's like, more. Because I go to an acupuncturist to get my hormones balanced, right? So that does work on a chi level too, but you know the difference through the channel. I'm just more just looking for
Yeah, I mean, the
information.
first thing they showed was iron. The iron deficiency is like the first thing that
And that's
popped
where
up.
I got the meat. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not talking about hormones. I mean, yes, you can balance hormones with Chinese medicine, but she's actively bleeding and not sleeping.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
totally different
Right.
than like night sweats and anxiety, or it's a different.
Sure.
It's a
Okay.
different.
I was just
That's general Chinese medicine. That's not aquamarine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's as is warm food and things like that, right? I was just more looking, to like if it was hormone related and she needed to balance her hormones, you would know that, right? And then she would be.
Yeah,
would she be?
they'll show that. You're using Western with Chinese medicine, so things usually come in a Chinese medicine.
Okay.
So hormones ultimately break down to yin and yang.
Okay.
In testosterone, right? So, yeah, but this is chi level.
Okay.
Right. So we're not even getting into
specifics like that. Okay, I see. I was just more curious, when that awareness would come in. And if it is a life-threatening ailment, they'll say, no, she needs to see somebody immediately. Do you ever get that kind of information?
Well, this seems pretty serious.
Yeah.
Like go eat meat now.
Yeah.
You'll get the iron now so you can sleep. If you've missed 2 nights of sleep and you're actively bleeding, you're completely depleted. The chi is not holding the blood. But there's a sense of need. Like everything was much more on the physical. Yes, they're working on the ancestral part, but everything's moved up to it's more of a physical crisis right now.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, which is why it's like do this.
Right.
Yeah. And then if she would have had a longer session, then you could have pulled out some of the root of where it began.
You pulled out some of it, but it's not the focus.
Okay.
Because it's so far manifested into the physical at the present moment.
I see.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I would also say, this is a good example of because I have the Chinese medicine background.
Mm-hmm. Right.
With somebody else that I've trained, they wouldn't get everything that I got.
I gotcha.
They're immediately just pulling up.
Right. Because you have that, again, they will use your library. You have that in there, right, to access. Yep.
Yeah.
To make sense.
But the iron is low and all, yeah. So.
Yeah. I used to have that. I do have, I was going to say if I could raise my hand, I have been struggling with belly issues for all of my life. And I get where I kind of get like this really gassy, and it's almost, I've been taking like a prescription medicine. It's a very expensive prescription medicine. I haven't been taking it right now because Jeneth gave me some
Chinese herbs.
Yeah, and it seems to be working right now, but I do have a flare up.
It's from Evergreen. I think it's called.
I love Evergreen. That's what I use.
It's a GS formula.
It's been pretty great. However, I also recently have been experiencing like extreme fatigue. Like, oh my, I don't know.
Or after the herbs?
Maybe around the same time, but I don't think I don't know that they're related. But it's just like I'm super sleepy. Like, I just want to, it's like unusual the last couple of days.
Yeah. So about the herbs, some herbs can make you sleepy because they're grounding you.
Okay.
Or they could be draining you into moving. Let me take 2 seconds. Can you stick out your tongue if you don't mind? I can tell you. Yeah, super pale. Yeah, okay. The herbs may be too moving for you. So just be careful of the formula.
Okay.
I don't know that exact formula. It's not a traditional.
And I don't know if that exact formula is for her. I just know that it helped me with a similar symptom.
Yeah. I'll take a look, but traditionally gut issues, it's 6 gentlemen. 6 gentlemen.
Total. Oh, now I have new questions.
Yeah, maybe we should just do an overall session, but I'll do the aquas right now.
Okay.
I don't want to rush the Chinese medicine part, but we'll see what they bring in.
Okay.
So it's a gas bloating is how you experience it.
And it's like I can't go to the bathroom, I can't move.
Okay.
It's really debilitating sometimes. Yes.
How many years?
I mean, since I
At
was
least
little.
12, because I
Okay.
remember her having it a long time ago.
Oh, you guys know each other as kids.
Well,
Yeah,
12
feels
years
like it.
ago, not age 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It feels
okay,
like
okay.
it.
Yeah, yeah. You have that resonance. Maybe it's another lifetime.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure.
all right. So just say your name out loud.
Lianka.
The first name's fine. Okay, there we go. This is actually very emotional. Wow. Yeah, there's some emotional distress that's running in your system. They're showing it like shaking. All right, so just clearing that out. Some ancestral line with your mother's side they're clearing,
Yeah.
and the relationship with your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
I was raised with my grandparents on my father's side. So, if that gives you.
Yeah. Yeah, see in here.
I have a good, I mean, me and my mom are good now, but.
Yeah, no, there's a deep wound there here clearing. There we go. A part of it's with breathing, almost like you're holding your breath. Shortness of
I was doing that right now.
Yeah, that's yeah, so just relax, yeah. Put your head down if you're that tired with this. There we go. Yeah, there's this feeling of not feeling safe, nervousness. There we go. It's almost like a constant fight or flight. Yeah. That's common. A lot of humans actually. There we go. I know they're working on the spine, and they're working on the actual stomach systems now. Spleen, stomach, small intestine. But this is emotional.
I gather that.
And it's had a physical effect, yeah.
I gather that very much so.
Yeah, it's getting intense. Just let it go through. Breathe, breathe, breathe. There you go. Relaxing breaths, no holding, just. So clearing out a trauma with your mom, some sort of incident. That's where the shaking is coming in.
It's weird.
And there's know that you are always loved, even when those that can't step forward in what they need to do can't do what they need to do. It's not a fault of your own, and coming to about that will bring the peace. And now they're integrating.
Thank you.
I just feel like almost like I think we're closing. It feels like they're closing everything for the whole show.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
You know that? Like
Interesting. They kind of own this whole thing, don't they?
Yeah. Whatever field was open for everybody is now starting to come to a close.
Nice.
Wowzer, wowzer, wowzer. My gosh.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Yeah, how are you doing?
I got giddy at the very end when you
I
were
was.
talking about the closing right before you said the closing. It was like smiling. I also when I went to touch my back and I arched it, completely involuntary.
Yeah, and I was doing the same thing.
It was so crazy. It was nice.
Yeah. When I run the energies, I usually do sit up straight, like everything is clear, and you're like, oh, okay. So you may move around more after doing these sessions, like everything's like, oh, okay,
yeah.
It's very loose and light.
Yeah.
Loose and light.
I think everyone definitely needs to drink a lot of water.
Yes.
Yeah, hydrate.
And then stretch. Like if your arm feels like it wants to move up, let it move.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel.
Or stand and shake.
Yes.
Traditionally, I teach that you're supposed to shake out before,
I gotcha.
Relax.
Sherry, one quick question. You said something about 6 gentlemen right before you started working on her. What does that mean? I think you looked at her tongue and said 6 gentlemen or something.
Oh, it's just a general chi formula for the stomach.
Okay, I found this on the web for one quick question.
I love it when
responded.
they do that. Yeah, that happens during ET contact as well.
I thought so too. Yeah. Yeah.
Siri responds.
Yeah.
Our technology, I think we were in Shasta and someone's phone was ringing even though it was off.
Oh, wow. Yes. Technology.
Straight out of Cocoon when he uses her watch.
Still talking. Wow.
It's probably the field.
Wow.
It is the field.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, this feels so cool.
Sherry's got to go eat lunch, so.
I love it. Thank you, Sherry. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Sherry, thank you so much. We are so grateful to have you. My goodness, this was profound for me, and I think it was for many of the callers. So thank you.
Yeah, sorry we didn't get to everybody, but
we'll have to have you back for a real encore, a live encore.
For Aqua's.
Yes,
Yeah,
Aqua's,
absolutely.
yes, I love sharing this with the audience and a greater platform. It's just amazing. Thank
So
you.
cool.
And thank you to you for doing the work.
Yeah, because
you so
that might not have been easy to go deep with them. I'd be like unconscious the whole time. I'd be like, okay, just plug me in like the Matrix. Like, do I have one of those holes in the back of my head you can just plug me in?
Sherry, bless you. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Go have lunch, and
Thank you so
everyone,
much for
please
having
drink
me.
water. Nurture
Yeah, it's
yourself.
been a pleasure. Yeah, just everyone take care of themselves, drink water, hydrate, nap, or go in nature, whatever you feel you need. And I look forward to everyone enjoying the packages that's there.
Yes.
Those will be really beautiful.
Yes.
And working with you guys next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a blessed day, everybody. Thank you.
And you can just sign off. It's really easy. So.
Yeah, let me just stop the recording.
Bye for now.
My goodness, this is like, whew, Freedom. Dang. Wowzers.
Thank you to everyone that joined us on the line.
Thanks for participating.
Yes.
It really matters to us.
And the readings are for everyone. So if you're listening on the replay, know that you're experiencing change. Know that you're fostering in an upgrade in all of humanity. For when one gets free, you unlock it for all. So continue to step on your journey. Continue to find out and ask yourself what's light and what's true for you.
And that was really intense. So please nurture yourself and rest. Next week, we meet Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific to around this time. If you want to join us next week, we'd love to have you. And if you want to join, we have a little lounge that we're putting together. It gives you priority access to asking questions when there's readings or whoever is speaking. You get priority access to that. You get 10% off of all of whatever special offers you want. There's a code that works for all the special offers, so you get that code in your email. And if you're buying a special offer and you want more than that, you also get my previous summits and this summit in that package. Plus each month, I do a hypnotherapy session or energy facilitation, and Lianka does her stuff, her Akashic reading and QHHT. So if that is calling you and you just want to be a part of a group in this way, check out the lounge. It's in the email at the very bottom in the PS area. And if you need us, you can always email us if you have questions or you want to find a link. It's team@hautehustle.com. I'm putting it in the chat just so that you have it. But if you want to get if you want to get a certain package and don't see it on the site, great. Just go ahead and grab the package and there's that.
And if you have any trouble with any part of the process, or if you're maybe not getting the email, the replays, let us know.
Yeah,
she put the team@hautehustle.com on. Just shoot me a quick note, and we can at that email address, and we can get you all squared away. So super easy.
And it helps us if you tell us, like for example, somebody said, when I click the button on one of the special offers, it just keeps looping. And, and they told us a day later, but, it's that helps us because we're like, oh, this one isn't working. Let's figure that out. So, and also if something has not worked for you, then please go back and,
let us know.
Everything should be good now.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is live. This is brand new show. We do have a team, but at the same time, it's technology. And there we go.
I used to do these like myself, right? I was the one that was just doing the interviewing. I just brought her in this season. So this is for us to integrate her brand and my brand, and then the new Hot Hustle brand. It's sometimes it's a lot of different links.
A lot of moving parts, right?
A lot of moving parts. A lot of different speakers and things like that. Hey, also, if you have a recommendation for a speaker that you've been following or learning from, and they're just phenomenal, please send it our way. I would be happy to as a community, if you have recommendations, that would be great.
And let your friends know about the show as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
The more that join, the more that your guides. So your guides will always help whenever you expand your platform. So by you sharing the different things that work for you, that help you out, if you're experiencing some relief here, definitely share this out with your peeps too. So let's all help each other get lifted and get free.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, you guys. So talk to you Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye, everyone.